What is going on, everybody, and thanks for tuning in to this special episode of the, Memorial Day Decoy live stream podcast. The very, very light live stream because, honestly, I set up the podcast, like the live stream to start at 1 p.m. thinking that it was like noon when I was doing it. And then for whatever reason, I just totally didn't even realize that it was already 1 p.m. So we're like an hour late, but I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, so I need a starting stream for my intro. I mean, I just have the one button. Like, I have the Steam Deck, I have this screen, I got this screen, and then I got... I mean, do I really need more than 3 buttons? I don't know. It's 5 p.m. on the East Coast, yeah. So it's, honestly, let me know. I don't know. Does anybody else need to know, like, live stream starting time on Instagram? Because I post that over there, but I honestly don't know how much of, like, a click-through rate there is. You got a notification the first time in a few weeks. Honestly, it's probably because if you look at... adjust this. If you look at the channel right now, and you go to Decap Decoy, I think we were, like, hard stuck at, like, 83k subs. And we've kind of had a breakthrough because we've been getting a lot of just forward momentum. So, I mean, it looks like the channel is back on track after a, what I would consider is that BS flag we got for the S content on the video. But, I mean, it is what it is. You get notifications from Kick, but not Twitch. You know what? I wouldn't doubt that. I'm on Twitch because, like, they reached out. But, honestly, I don't know how that's doing because I guess my content, or at least the regular channel, is anti what they got going on their moderation front. But again, I haven't really violated any Twitch rules at all. Yeah, 5 p.m. is fine because you're on the East Coast. Honestly, I thought that one of my goals was supposed to be to live stream after Asmongold, but honestly, I don't know if that's something I even want to do. Like, if I want to be like the I think Tectone was putting himself like the pre-show, and somebody should be the after show, like the old school Decoy Voice podcast. When I worked a regular 9-to-5 job, I would try to be Tim Pool, Timcast IRL after show, because he would go to his paid for content, and I would just be like after work, get a quick bite to eat, and live stream for a couple hours. But I don't know. Being too based is against their rules. Honestly, that's what it kind of seems like what it is going to be. You're probably going to stop your Twitch sub and sub on Kicks next month. I mean, I appreciate it. Like, any support you guys can give. You give me, like, your Amazon Prime or your Prime sub on Twitch. If you connect your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account to give me a free thing, or just nothing at all. Like, you guys just hanging out is enough for me. It's been pretty fun. You've been subscribed since Johnny Somali. Good work. Isn't it sad how Johnny Somali was always a joke? Because, like, he was just kind of the internet's like punching bag, and then as you've seen through time, what is it, not Decap Decoy, on the regular Decoy Voice channel, you saw how what we were covering before was, and I guess we can't go that far back, I guess if you go by popular, what we were covering before was a lot of like Johnny Somali being an idiot and him finding out until he's finally like in South Korean jail waiting appeal. Like, he's gonna be in there for at least a year. But if you look at it recently, as far as like what gets the most viewership on the channel, we've swapped out Johnny Somali for Hassan Piker. Like, it's, yeah, the Korea finally throwing him in jail. That was like the handoff between Johnny Somali being messed up and Hassan being the new one, which is sad. I mean, at least Hassan is a multi-millionaire. He's a multi-millionaire that does have his own fan base. I don't think Johnny Somali ever got that type of recognition. Decoy Voice pandering to the far-right cult. It's so tragic. Is if it wasn't so funny. I mean, I'm not pandering to anybody. Here's the thing, is it's insane how you can just be a person that has your own set of values. Like, I think a lot of what Trump is doing is bad. I think the UFO files are kind of bizarre on their timing. Epstein files is a major issue. But if I don't align with what far-left Reddit values are, it's basically far-right to them. Wait, I'm pandaing. Did you guys hear there's a recent uh conspiracy theory, I guess what you call that, is that pandas didn't exist. They're like genetically modified, like Chinese bears, where like if you look in the past, you can't find any like old images or paintings of panda bears. And if it's like their national animal, like why don't you see it represented in their history at all? And also, they have such little survival skills in the wild. Like, how could they ever be something that occurred naturally? And I'm like, see, that's the kind of tinfoil hat theory that I want to subscribe to. That type of thing. Yeah, painted dogs. Pandas are the dumbest bears. I mean, I guess we can go ahead and ask Grok. Give me a concise synopsis of the panda bears aren't natural and Chinese made in a lab. Be concise, because sometimes you ask these AI bots and they'll give you their entire life story and they won't actually get to the point ever. Pandering. You have no original opinion, just vomit the same far-right slop from Twitter. It's predictable to the point is boring. And here's someone that isn't, they're never here. That's like quoted exactly from Hassan saying, all Shoehorn Head does is repeat what they said, what they heard on Reddit. Oh, you're just parroting that. It's like, first of all, that's projection from Hassan, because all he does is just read what he sees on Twitter, eat his lunch, and just repeat what he saw. But also means it. Oh, thanks Killinator for the 7-month subscription. But it just shows that you actually haven't watched the channel and heard my. I understand. I'm like Tim Pool. Tim Pool would always base his stuff like, I used to be a skateboarder. I worked for Vice. I was working at an airport. Like, he would always go to those three things. I have a lot of the same stories, working in security all across California, living in downtown LA, and seeing how Prop 47, 57, and 64 destroyed the community, and also just how it is to be somebody that is a minority. Like, I'm prepared to be a minority. Don't sound like a minority, but well, actually don't sound like a different minority, but appear to be a minority, and how the Democrats seem to own you. Some random person comes out of nowhere, you've never seen him before, and they're just reiterating slop they've heard from Hassan saying to his detractors, and they just somehow think, oh, if I just hit you with your pandering to the far right when you're not far right, and you're also repeating what you saw on Reddit when you're not, it can get you to shut up. And it's like, it's a very, very lazy way for people to try to police your speech into a little corner where you have to be a good little boba liberal. It's actually kind of sad. Yeah, echo chamber. But here it is. So the conspiracy theory viral on TikTok, Reddit, and shows like Pat McAfee claims giant pandas aren't a real / natural species. China allegedly invented or lab created them, or uses humans in suits. Again, I think that we had to find, there's an old video. I think it's an old video that we have of pandas not being real. And maybe I even took the video down because the video just did so horrendously bad. Maybe I took it down because it just like, you know, you got to clean up. So, like, especially when you're like, this is me at like maybe 80,000 subscribers. Sometimes you have to clear out the videos that aren't performing well. But I had a video about how it was like a dog. It wasn't a real one. And it was definitely a guy inside a panda suit. Wait, here it is. Yeah, the truth is worse than a lie. They had what was it? A Chinese zoo is being accused. Yeah, Chinese zoo had denied that the bear is a human in disguise. It's like, guys, gotta be honest. I mean, maybe they've done it before, guys. They've done it before. There's people trying to become dogs, mascot suits. Okay, whatever. But just the thing is, it's humans in suits as a hoax for diplomacy, tourism, and soft power, citing their unnatural black and white fur, bamboo-only diet despite being carnivores. Very valid. Terrible breeding instincts, human-like movements, and supposedly missing ancient records. Recent Chinese zoo scandals dyed a Chow Chow dogs and passed them off as pandas and touted as proof while the whole thing is fake. Basically, it's a whole birds aren't real meme for pandas. I mean, the birds aren't real meme. Is that a meme or is that just something that's genuinely happening out there? But then also, what do you call it? Them not having really great like reproductive instincts and they can't survive in the wild. It sounds an awful lot like what's that dog? What's that dog that it's really popular and like expensive to get? It's French Bulldog. Not Chow. French Bulldog. They can't a lot of them can't even give birth naturally. Like they have to all have B C-section because their hips aren't wide enough. Bulldogs and French Bulldogs, they snore a lot, like they get sleep apnea a lot of the time. Not a lot of the times, but I know some people, actually, yeah, multiple people that get the French Bulldog and they get it neutered or spayed and they never recover from their operation. Just the anesthesia just makes it so they don't wake up. And it's like, yeah, we've genetically modified or specifically bred these dogs to be a certain way, or these animals to be a certain way. They're just no longer capable of surviving in the wild. So I wouldn't be surprised if panda bears are suffer the same situation. They have fossils and evolution. I don't believe it. Do they? I mean, here's the thing: is get out of here with your facts. We're talking tinfoil hat theories. We're trying to like go off the deep end. LOL, but also koalas technically shouldn't be eating eucalyptus. It's bad for them. Yet it's the most their diet. I mean, sometimes we all our evolution isn't good, isn't it? Isn't there the rumor that everything eventually becomes a crab? Like that's the superior species of evolution, like having a shell, being able to shed it, having lots of babies. Like we all eventually become crab at the end of the day. And that's not a conspiracy theory, right? Show me hunting camouflage that looks like a panda bear, then show me the location on a map. All I know is I had an employee, I don't even know what I can say about it, but an employee that had military experience, had combat experience, and I just genuinely couldn't understand why digital camo works. Like camouflage, kind of you blend. It's the same thing as like a tree or whatever, but digital camo, just the blocks. I was like, how does that work? He's like, it's about cutting the silhouette and everything. He's trying to explain it to me, and I can somewhat understand how a panda bear, their specific camouflage or the coloring would cut their silhouette to look like a smaller creature. Again, I'm just making stuff up right now, but I don't know. Dithering in digital optics for something else, for like, I guess, you know what, that makes sense. Digital camo for someone that's watching you in like 360p on a digital zoom on something, so it's harder to pick up and it looks more like digital optics. I get that actually now. But thank you, Radiosphere. You gave me a synopsis of an understanding of something that was like a 3-hour long conversation at work. Just like camouflage for boats during World War II. Again, it's weird. "3D printed panda fossils, yeah." Okay, wait. You're right, Admiral. Crabs are just a convergent evolution, not the pinnacle, where everything becomes a crab. But why would we all want to become the crab naturally? I guess the pinnacle would be human beings because we, like, you know, gain intelligence. I think we merge with the what is a mushroom? It's called, is it, God, I can't even name the species of animal. What is a mushroom? Chat, what is it? A fungus. Yeah, we merge with the fungi. Thank you, chat. Mycelium, yeah, myco, whatever. Fungies, psilocybin, or whatever. I don't know what it is, but yeah, fungi. Myceli. Oh my god, that's a hard word to say. But yeah, we merged with the fungus. We became very, very enlightened, and that's how we moved on. Not cordyceps. I mean, I tried all that stuff. What is it called? My hair is so curly. It's very what is it, humid today, but it's just not, it's not doing well for me. But yeah, it's I tried all the what do you call them, the Joe Rogan sells them. There's psilocybin, all the different things that are supposed to be good for your brain health. I tried all that stuff and I was like, it's really helping. Nootropics and stuff, yeah. I was like, it is helping, but I honestly kind of felt like maybe it was just a placebo effect. Like, I was thinking that it was helping and it really wasn't helping, but I don't know. Go bald? I mean, I may end up be going there to see with this harsh light above me. I am going to be going bald in the near future. Hopefully, what is it? Minoxidil? Maybe minoxidil will save me. We'll see. Some people, I watch a fashion YouTuber, and his like most popular video was him trying out, like Rogaine or whatever the equivalency of it was, and like he brought his hairline back. Like it was receding, and it came back down, like lower on his forehead. Maybe it'll save me. Luckily, you have thick hair. That's what I heard. It takes longer for thick hair to thin out and go bald. But we'll see. Joe Rogan, I mean, I guess maybe I'll just go all bald, but then again, I gotta go on elk meat too. Sharpie is not the answer. I mean, if Decaf Decoy hits 1 million subscribers, maybe I would just Sharpie in my entire head and be like some of those guys, like not all black barbers, but of all the barbers, it's mostly black barbers that will give you either the I think it's called Topics. It's like a spray that they spray your beard on, or they give you a it's like beard like hair fibers, or an actual spray and give you like a crispy hairline. It's like, I would just straight up do that. Oh, thank you, Scootitrition, for the Prime sub. Bro, the fumes will kill you. I mean, honestly, I don't like all this stuff. Like, I remember I had an old employee that was he was an old guy and he was balding, and I was just asking him, like, oh, you ever thought about like Rogaine or finasteride or whatever? He's like, I'm not putting some strange chemical right next to my brain. And I was like, you know what? That's a valid point. Why are we messing with the brain right there? To promote hair health, don't wear hats and scrub vigorously while showering. Here's the thing. I just got this cowboy hat on my chair. I would wear a lot of my stuff like this. Like, I like wearing hats, and sometimes I like being able to say, oh, yeah, you got some good hair too. But apparently, because I'm balding right there, it's because you have your hat right there. And that's what like gives the friction constantly of you walking around, and it'll cause you to bald in that very spot. And I'm like, God damn it, I did it to myself. It is a good hat, right? It is a good cowboy hat. What is it, knee howdy? See, here's the thing. Mildly offensive, but hilarious, so you get away with it. As a bald guy, it's not the hats or the scrubbing or anything, you're going bald. I mean, it's just, since I don't have a great beard, I think it's like you don't have the stuff, like, what causes you to get a beard is the same stuff that causes you to go bald too, so I just don't have that. Yeah, there's a live stream right here. Oh, what's up, Maybe Sunshine? And then also, it's also Eugene's diet, etc. Honestly, I think that it's, because if you find old photos of me, my hair was very, very straight, traditionally Korean. I think around 30, my hair started to get slightly wavy. And I don't know if you've seen certain videos of me, like if I just, if I get out of the shower and I just, like, don't really, like, try to straighten my hair, it gets, like, coily and curly. So it's like, I have a very, very, interesting hair evolution. It makes it easier to cosplay as Krillin. My forehead isn't that tall, though. Your hair got curly when you hit 28? Whatever, is all a thing, right? I heard it has to do with something about, like, hormones in your system. You call it the Kershaw. What is the Kershaw? Is he going bald? Is he bald? No, I thought he had, like, curly hair, like, right? I don't know. Looking fresh? I mean, I'm in the middle of changing barbers, and I just need... I need to get a haircut, guys. We'll see. You have the Korean Highlander hair? What is Korean Highlander a real thing? You say many Koreans have hair that grows out the way yours has. Many Koreans get perms. Like, it's very popular amongst Korean people to get perms, both males and females. So that's a thing. Like Korean ladies that hit 30 and get a short perm and it stays like that forever, or they just get perms all the time. But Korean Highlander, is that a thing? What? There's nothing in this that says decoy voice. I don't know. this girl, this thing, or the Toyota Highlander, or a Yu-Gi-Oh card. Yeah, I'm gonna venture to guess something was lost in translation there. You had it since you had a baby? I've heard wild things about girls. They'll have their first baby, they'll have their first kid, and then like everything will change for them. Let me see. Oh, you're just saying you have thick hair like the Highlander, the guy with the sword. Okay, there can only be one, right? That I remember that now. You're white, your topmost hair is kind of wavy around your neck, shoulders is outright curly, pretty weird. You were with a Filipina for a while. She said it's like you treated your hair, but you don't. And that's the thing is I've heard people like, oh yeah, Decoy went out there and got a perm. It's like, no, if I don't blow dry my hair straight and really work on it being straight, or even, let's do a deep cut right now. I want to say early 20s? Early 20s, very, very like long straight hair was a thing. And I was trying to be like everybody else in LA. So I legit had a flat iron, and I would wake up and I would like flat iron my hair straight. Weirdest, most try-hard thing I've done in my life, but you know, gotta learn to laugh at yourself. Have you ever considered managing a K-pop boy band? The Decoy Boys is a really catchy name. I mean, K-pop is like my what do you call it? My guilty pleasure. Because all of it is so juvenile, but I actually love it. Oh, completely off topic, but your wife's going to Anaheim with your friends in 2 weeks. Any areas for her to avoid? She's evidently going to a baseball game and Universal Studios while she's there. So, if she's going to Anaheim for the baseball game, she's probably going to Dodger Stadium, Angel Stadium. And then Universal Studios is like, it's like really only 30, 40 minutes away, but in traffic during the day, this could be like a 2-hour long trip depending on where she's staying. So at Anaheim Stadium, I would say as long as you're at the stadium and you don't venture off to go like, oh, let's go on a food adventure and try stuff out. Anaheim is called Anacrime for a reason. So if she's going to go to Disneyland or something, the areas directly around that are okay. But you can't venture too far away from Disneyland because you get into, not the hood, but like drug-addled bums pretty quickly. So stay near Anaheim Stadium. If you stay in the stadium, like the parking lot, you're fine. Going to Universal Studios, again, stay in the area, like off that exit. Maybe you can go like venture a little bit south. There's that In-N-Out Burger, but anything that isn't like, even like the tourist zones are going to be kind of near bad areas. Like you really rolling the dice. Like it's sad to say, but it's like, don't wander too far away from Disneyland wearing Mickey Mouse ears because people know you just went through like Disney TSA, so you're unarmed and you're a tourist. So you are like you are like the perfect target to mug on the street. So it's like, stay close to Disneyland, stay close to Universal Studios. If you end up going to like the upscale malls, like if you go to Topanga Mall up in the valley near Universal, or you go down to like the Grove Mall, don't leave anything in your vehicle that looks like it might have something of value. I'm talking like sunglass case, iPhone cable, Apple Store bag, a designer bag, a shopping bag, or anything that just looks like, hey, a bipper can just knock out your window and take something. And just be very aware of your surroundings. Like I don't recommend too many places in Anaheim. Like, as soon as you get off the freeway and you're driving around, you'll know, hey, there's Disneyland, there's Angel Stadium, and then there's a liquor store. There's a liquor store. Like, you know when you're in a bad area. Sounds like Rio de Janeiro. Got 2 blocks from the beach and you will be robbed. Got 3 blocks and you'll vanish. Exactly. Like, where there's a lot of good places. Not good places. Like many cities, they know what drives commerce. Anaheim needs to protect that little triangle. I think they call it OC Vibe. Disneyland, Anaheim, Angel Stadium, Honda Center where the Ducks play. Keep that area okay, because if the tourists stop coming, that topples your economy. So they're going to protect that spot. Send them to Santa Monica. Do not go to Santa Monica right now. Sad to say, I love Santa Monica. I love the 3rd Street Promenade. I love the pier. Everything about it is great, was great, but now it's just it's crime riddled, and Santa Monica PD with they do not have a requirement to respond to calls of distress. Like, you can say, help, my friend, they're getting jumped over there. I've just literally had this exact scenario, and 2 female coppers just looked at me and walked away because they didn't want to deal with it. And it's like, yeah, there's a major issue over there. Oh, thanks, Troglodyte, for the sub for 7 months. But yeah, go to Huntington Beach, and that's a sad thing, is Huntington Beach is now getting these street takeovers, like in the thumbnail. We're going to talk about what happened over in Chicago, but street takeovers are happening over there. It's all moving down. Like, I heard something about what's like Laguna Beach area code 949. Like, they say when it's 100 in the 909, which is like Inland Empire, not the hood, but like the poor places. When it's 100 in the 909, it's 909 in the 949. Like, meaning you bring all the seedier elements to the very, very nice elite coastal areas, and it's like, yeah, they got to do a lot to counteract that. Venice Beach smells like crap. It's disgusting. It's sad because the most expensive real estate on the planet essentially looks like the third world now. Yeah, San Bernardino, that's a 909. 909, 951, I think. The Chinese are in contact with 6-dimensional aliens. Good to know. I wouldn't stay in Chicagoland. It's woke and broke and a joke, sadly. I have family members that invited me, like, oh, come visit us in Chicago. And I was like, no. This is coming from a guy that lived in the hood in Los Angeles. I'm not going to Chicago, guys. Don't go to downtown LA. And it's sad because you have the Staples Center, or the Crypto Center now, and where you can watch you could watch a Laker game or a Kings game, and you have to, like, some of the offsite parking that's like cheaper and easier to access, you actually have to walk through like a third world nation to get to your $500 Laker ticket seats. Your best defense in those places are to cut out the crazies. And it's sad, it's like, if someone, I forgot who said it on Twitter, but they're like, the left always wants to complain about what the top 1% or the top 5% to 10%. Oh, the top 1% is harming society. It's like, no. The bottom 1% is harming society way more than the top 1%. Like, if they had an option to get rid of the top 10% richest people, we'd all be living in abject poverty as, like, a planet, because who's innovating, who's providing, like, corporations, they're evil. I understand that. But they are providing a lot of stuff at like, Walmart. Evil, taking advantage of underpaid workers, and sometimes they steal the intellectual property of a business trying to get on their feet. But also, they bring us products at a price that allow us to live in excess, and also their logistics is like out of this world. Like, they get things to you very quickly. They can benefit us in ways, but there's no positive part of, like, the most criminally insane bottom 1% harming people in the street. So even the bottom 10% committing crimes, the recidivism rate, like, how many billions of dollars does America spend babysitting the bottom 10% of our population, committing crimes, going to jail, harming people, like, social services? That's what I'm more concerned about over the top 10%, Jeff Bezos is hurting us. No. I've had a case where you couldn't chat, super chat, member chat, nothing, and one of those still sticks to YouTube channel, even though the owner says neither him nor the mods have you blocked. I will tell you that sometimes the auto moderator can go out of control, and it just detects the wrong thing. But if you say certain things about certain places, it can essentially shadow you across all platforms because you're just deemed a risk. I know that that's a thing. And downtown LA smells like garbage, and it's sad because downtown LA is probably objectively dirtier than New York City. It's just spread out more. Even the top 1% go, it's like Hank Williams Jr. said, a country boy can survive. Yeah, but none of these people in the city can. I'm like a city kid, so it's like, I'm not gonna start living off the land and like raising cattle and, farming potatoes. I'm probably going once the canned food runs out. It's Silicon Valley shadow banning, not just AI. I mean, but the AI will shadow ban you. Like, we'll get into the first topic right now. But you had this channel randomly, I don't even know what video, you probably can find it, but randomly one of the videos got flagged as adult content. And it's like, there's no adult content in it. I had humans review it. They still said adult content. It was not. It's probably somewhere around here. It got flagged as adult content. Like, look at all these videos are doing really well. And then just viewership went off a cliff. And they said, well, actually, it wasn't adult content. It was actually just, what they say it was? They ended up saying it was, profanity in the thumbnail. There was no profanity in the thumbnail, but they just decided to attack the channel. And it was just because an auto moderator, yeah, I think it's right here. This one. LA is officially cooked. There's nothing adult content about it. But yeah, then they said, oh, we're going to flag it. We're going to make it so you can't be found. So it's like, I do know there's random triggers in there that can find you. A cooked is now a cursed word. I mean, sad. A curse word. Yeah. Smash JT had a live is flagged for adult content because a woman's knee. YouTube said it was a breast, but you can clearly say it was a knee. The one thing that this is my conspiracy theory, and I would genuinely wouldn't be surprised if this was true, is in the video, it's not violence, but it's like people pushing each other and there's a lot of stuff going on. So I'm like, you know what? Just to be on the safe side, let me just blur it out. Mosaic, blur it out. And I wonder, because it has my face, Asian guy, and if you label Asian man, the AI picks that up, and you have all this mosaic blur around there. If the AI is detecting what that normally is, did it think, hey, this is adult content? Because remember, I think it was Apple devices. If you turned on your adult content filter saying, if someone's searching for something adult, make certain that the kids can't see it, so it blocks it. But then randomly, the iPhone or Apple devices would block the word Asian. So if you typed in Asian food, Asian barber, Asian historical sites, it would say, this content is blocked. And it's like, so you mean to say that the only thing you think people are searching on Google related to Asian is adult content? And I just wonder if the AI filter, just always making mistakes now, picked up Asian face, blurry image, and thought, that's gotta be adult content. Again, I'm just kind of going off, I'm just going off on a random ass tangent. But to me, what else could it have been? Why was it something that was not adult, got flagged as it, and then a human review said, nah, that definitely is. Had to be that. I don't know. Interesting tangent and kind of makes sense. I mean, what else would it have been? Because it definitely wasn't adult content. It was just a riot. Like in Marathon, you can't say Orc Raiders. They just straight up block the name of the game. I'll tell you right now. These right here. Wait. My hand here and my hand. Oh my god, I'm so uncoordinated. There we go. These right here. These are the safe platforms that I can link on the surface of my YouTube. If you put the other platforms, some of which that you guys are watching on, if you put the other platforms down there, it automatically lowers whatever this version of P-Score is. That may have since changed, but I definitely know if you double upload to the Bumble platform and YouTube platform, they automatically turn you down a little bit because they don't want to promote their competitors. There's one store with, oh yes, exactly. And rhymes with Bumble, exactly. Yeah, you can't advertise that. I think Kick is okay, but the problem with the Kick is you don't know if you want to build an audience over there quite yet because you don't know when they're gonna pull the plug that is monetization on Kick. Because right now it's basically just we have our gambling stake money and we pay the creators with that. Once it becomes a thing where they have to run based it on advertisers. I don't know how many people are advertising on Kick. X, I just don't trust X's stats because right now, it doesn't even tell me how many people are viewing on it. Like, if we look on Twitter right now, let's see. Look on Twitter. I'm live on it. It says I have 130 live views. It says views, but it won't tell you how many people are concurrently watching you right now. There's nobody in chat. And that's what I'm always skeptical of, is when you'll look at things like, oh, now we're like double over. When you look at somebody like on a certain platform that they got 5,000 live viewers, and their chat is like there's like 5 live viewers, and I'm like, see, it could be that their viewers are coming from something like television, where like a lot of like especially older people watch YouTube exclusively on their television. You don't really chat on your TV app. Like, you're not gonna click it in on chat. I don't know if I trust those stats not to be insanely overinflated. YouTube wouldn't have to worry about losing people to Bumble if they're losing up on the community guidelines. And here's one thing I would say about that is people complain YouTube doesn't just let it be the Wild West and let you have the most insanely offensive, violent things on there, or even like racist things on there, because why don't they just be a free speech platform like, I don't know, was a BitChute was one of them, the leaking one, the one that would like whenever something happened, like a terrorist did an execution, it would be on that platform, and it's like, terrible, and it's like, there's a reason that website died, because you need advertising dollars to keep the server costs running, or to pay for the server costs to keep the website running, and if you cater to the most insanely violent things and evil things, you're not gonna get Pepsi Cola, you're not gonna get Verizon Wireless, you're not gonna get Best Buy to buy ad space on your platform, and sad to say, advertising dollars makes the world go around. So yes, I'll self-censor. I won't show the violent parts of things because I want to adhere to YouTube's guidelines, because YouTube's the only one that's doing it somewhat well. And of course you're going to lose your audience share to a place like Rumble, but also I don't think Rumble's ever going to be the de facto town square of internet for like people on it, because simply put, in order for your platform to take off, social media platform, YouTube's a social media, you think about MySpace, you think about Facebook, and you think about Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok. What makes that platform the de facto everything so people go on there? And to not overgeneralize it, but the reason you become the town square that everybody goes is you have normal, pretty girls that also go on the platform. So as long as you can be like, I'm going to talk about my politics stuff, or I'm going to talk about Pokemon cards, or I'm going to talk... If we're all in one place together, people will gravitate towards it. And what is it? Like some absurd high percentage of all internet traffic is adult content. So it's like, yeah, there has to be normal people on it. If you have a website like Rumble, you have a website like Kick, that only caters to the people that get banned off other platforms, that mainly caters to that. You'll have a Fresh and Fit, you'll have an Alex Jones, whatever. Like, you have just people that get sent over there. You really cater to a specific audience that feels free to say whatever they want, however they want, as vile as it sometimes may be. I'm not saying everybody on the platform is vile, but that's what you have on there. If you have a regular person, regular girl, going from their YouTube videos, their TikTok videos that are heavily moderated onto Rumble, and the most insane, vile things can be sent to them from an audience that is predominantly the most insane, vile people that got banned from other websites, they're going to be appalled by what they see on that platform and move away. They're going to go back to TikTok. They're going to go back to YouTube, or they're going to go back to Instagram. And it's like, those websites will never take off because you can't get normal people on it. You're too fringe, you're too edgy to ever become a thing. It's like, yeah, like, what is it? The Chan website, that's been around forever, but it's never going to be mainstream by design. Yeah, true. Rumble's main problem is most of their videos are political because the people were banned, and the viewers who are also banned go there and vent. And it's like, yeah, it serves its purpose. It's good that it's there. Exactly. Blue Sky. You have Rumble, you got Blue Sky. The same thing. You get the fringes of society, and normal people don't want to see it. That's why I said, like, Decoy Voice was such a good channel, like in the world of politics in the beginning, because after Reddit shut down the Donald, and then the Donald made their own website, it was like just far-right extreme people talking to far-right extreme people and kind of making each other worse. And it would be like insane people and literal feds trying to make the insane people more insane. No normies was ever making it to that website. If it was on Reddit and people were able to bounce ideas off each other, you can find a happy medium. That's pretty much the void that I filled with Decoy Voice, where it was some people want to support Trump because they want border laws and they want freedom and they want the economy to do well, and they don't want to be voting for a Kamala Harris who just got pretty much installed atop of the Democrat Party, just like Biden got installed at the top of the Democrat Party. Some people don't want that, but they also aren't far right, so you needed some sort of a bridge. But what the heck is G.I. Jeff behind you? It's a comedian named Jeff Dye. He's a really good comedian. If he's in your area, go check him out. If you like my humor, if you like my view of the world, we don't like, we're not copies of each other. Like, we have different opinions on stuff. But Jeff Dye, best stand-up comedian out right now. If he's in your area, 1,000,000% go see him. I severely doubt you will be disappointed. And also his crew, like, he travels with the same guys that do his opening sets, and those guys are all great too. And it's kind of weird. Like, I think that it's kind of cool when you like a band when they're kind of independent before everybody knows them. I think Jeff Dye will be a star, like a mega star, sometime in the future. Hopefully, he doesn't go the way of like a Louis C.K., where it's like he's he's amazing at this level. Hopefully, he can stay that same way as he becomes a mega star. But that'd be funny if he just like became the next, like, what is it? Not necessarily Joe Rogan, but just somebody that it's like we endorsed early on, and then just like how do I phrase this? Just became too popular for us. Independent thinker. Whoa, now we're talking banned language. Exactly. Hopefully he remains unabashedly forward on his opinion, but that's what he does. That's who he is. I remember he was even he was even demoing edgy jokes, and I was like, oh my god, like, he was pretty base before, but then when he stretches and he tries new stuff, it's like, no, he's farther than us. I think he's like Modern Warfare 2 lobby level of offensive. And I show a clip of his. I mean, I don't even know. Because it's gonna be his set. I don't think he would strike me, but the company like Netflix that he had his set on, they probably would. Yeah, COD chat lobby 15 years ago, but probably not like Bill Burr, because I think that Bill Burr was always that, and I don't see what's the criticism of Burr where he like ended up shacked up with some insane liberal girl and then it changed his values. I 1,000,000% don't see Jeff Dye ever letting a female manipulate him into becoming a bleeding heart liberal. He's just too base for that. But yeah, over in Chicago, more teen takeovers. This stuff is nuts. Like, they get together in these large groups because they know that if a crime would occur, just like with the George Floyd riots or the BLM Summer of Love, they get together like this because they can do things that they normally couldn't with a group of 5 friends. 5 friends start smashing a window, you can arrest probably the guy that did it. Somebody in this crowd smashes a window, good luck finding the person that did it, and they're just unable to do whatever they want. But over in Chicago, it keeps getting worse. Like, look at this. Hundreds of cars are vandalized in Chicago after police broke up a teen takeover. And it's like, they call these things teen takeovers, but it's like, that's not a genuine definition of what this is. These are riots. And sad to say, it's like, this isn't people that were trying to arrest him. This is just a guy that parked his car in his residential neighborhood and just happens to be a victim of poor Chicago leadership and law enforcement. And here's the thing, they don't need to be running on those cars. There's plenty of space for them to go. They're running on the cars because no one can stop them, and they have low self-control. It's dangerous. Somebody's gonna get hurt. Like, I'm literally aging myself right now, but like, one of these kids is gonna twist their ankle coming off the car. Like, that's how I feel now. The mayor will blame Trump. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they already are blaming Trump. But, yeah, you can peacefully walk away from this thing. They're covering their face. I understand you guys are covering your face, but in Chicago, I don't think anybody's coming after you, sadly. All you need is a water cannon truck with blue dye. You can round them up anytime next month. Just look for the blue people. It's a very, very valid point, but they're not there to arrest them. Like, we're gonna get into it, how Chicago just, they think these kids are the victim. And they want more of your tax dollars to pay for these so-called victims. Yeah. Casually walking away from another teen takeover, but it gets crazy. Like, Chicago Goofy's showing us all this crazy stuff. These aren't the kids. These are the same people that say, I fear every day for law enforcement to, you know, end the life of another unarmed black teen. It's like, no, 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 no. This shows you very clearly they are not afraid of law enforcement.
Oh God, this is crazy. It's all kids.
Yeah, why are you dancing? Like, what is this? What is this? They're twerking on some poor guy's work car. Oh my God. And they see this as entertainment. It's like, you guys have nothing better to do. I'm not saying as a teenager you need to be offering something for the bettering of society. You need to be studying for the SATs. Like, I'm not that Asian. But I'm saying there's nothing better than what this is. Like, this is the pinnacle of what you want to do on your weekend. Yeah, they aren't afraid of the police coming through, busting out the riot shield, busting out the baton, and throwing them in jail until their parents come get them. They're not concerned with anything, and that's the problem is, once they are well aware the law doesn't apply to them, they will continue to do this. And the people just recording them laugh at this exactly. Okay, now there's probably going to be a fight over there. But then also, they have a fire extinguisher on essentially attacking the Chicago PD car. Now, the cop car. Now, the sad part is, you don't want the cop car to start sending out rounds into these people attacking them, because that would be, like, horrific. But how does these cops know they aren't being ambushed? How do these cops know that this isn't some sort of gang retaliation for an arrest they made? Like, I'm making up a wild scenario, but they should be fearing for their life, but the law doesn't allow them to. I guess not that music, but yeah, they're hitting a cop car with a fire extinguisher. These guys are in masks, so they're wearing masks and hoodies. And if anybody's seen any videos from Chicago, you know that a lot of these groups of youths are armed with switches, extendo mags. They got all the stuff on them. And if you have them blinding you, wearing masks and hoodies, why wouldn't you assume they're about to light you up full auto? Like, I'd be terrified to be a Chicago copper right now. Yeah, they're firing at it. They're laughing in a very, very non-masculine walk. And he's up there. He's posing. This is for social media. He's just making a social media moment, but showing that Chicago, Chirac, has now become essentially a third world nation. Because look at this. Insane looking at a street takeover in Lower Wicker. This is Libs of Chicago. Yeah, they're blasting music. They're like burning a fire. I think this is in a freeway underpass, like a bridge underpass. Like, I'm almost afraid to play this video because sometimes when they're doing burnouts, they accidentally run somebody over. Like, this happens so frequently. I don't have confidence in this video not showing us somebody being ended. But then, here's how you know not only is the law enforcement system over in Chicago busted, the entire education system, like this system top to bottom, anything that the government is financing in Chicago, Illinois is broken if they legitimately think all this nonsense, all this fighting, all this lawlessness puts them amongst people like MLK. He had a dream, and what you guys are doing is similar.
So yeah, this is part 2, and then I think there's a movement going on now.
Guys, it's a movement.
I think it's a movement going on now. Like, what the fuck? Is this a civil rights movement? What?
Yes, it's a civil rights movement. Guys, chat. I see riot. I see assaulting a peace officer. I see takeovers. I see the future class of the EBT, the future EBT class, and what they see, it's a civil rights movement, guys. Did you know, in fact, MLK did this too? There wasn't cell phone cameras, guys. He had a dream. He had a dream that little black girls and little black boys, I'm sorry, little black girls and little white boys, I forget what the race is, but, you know, people of different races could play together and you be judged by the content of your character and not the color of your skin. He said that as he was fleeing from destroying the front windshield of a cop car with a fire extinguisher and setting ablaze a street takeover.
Like part 15? What the fuck? Come on, what's the next low? Get the fuck on! Get the fuck on!
Shut it down. Shut it down. Just you know what? We want that one part of I forget what part of Canada we want. We want that one part of Canada. This is like an NBA trade. Give us that very, very conservative based piece of Canada, and we will give you Illinois, Minneapolis, and the draft rights to Cuba. Like, that's fine. That's fine, guys. Alberta, thank you. Yeah, we want Alberta. You can have Minneapolis. Have fun paying your tax dollars to Somalian fraudsters. Take Chicago. Take Michigan. Oh yeah, we want Alberta and Saskatchewan. I'm not saying that correctly, but yes. I'm submitting the trade. Hopefully the league doesn't denounce it. But okay. These street takeovers are never going to stop. The system's broken because Mayor Brandon Johnson, like everybody says, he deserves to be in jail for this.
The accountability mechanism.
Today, Mayor Brandon Johnson reacting to a violent weekend so far.
These unauthorized gatherings.
Wait. Violent weekend so far? Every weekend has been violent. Like, you know, I always hear people saying, like, where's BLM? Bunch of shootings, bunch of innocent people gone. Why don't they care about what happens in Chicago every single day? And the people that care about gun control, it's insane. Like, hey, there's an incident that happened over there. You know, this person had thing, or someone was open carrying. It's like they don't care about all the social media videos coming out from Chicago of all these kids holding switches, holding extendo, 100 rounds. Like, that's the gun control that I want. Take those people and throw them all in prison forever.
As we have indicated multiple times, that they can be dangerous. And in this case, we saw the manifestation of that danger. The accountability. The
manifestation. Remember, this is the guy that said, these aren't mobs. These are large gatherings. They're large gatherings. But yeah, someone said, driver ramming to 5 coppers in a direct result of a decade-long scorched earth, no holds barred war against Chicago police. Now, this one I don't think was a street takeover.
Breaking news on the city's west side. 5 Chicago police officers were hurt after they were struck by a driver. It happened near Roosevelt and Loomis in Little Italy neighborhood. We're told the officers were on foot dispersing a large gathering at the time.
Oh, a large gathering, guys. Not a takeover, not a riot, not even a civil rights movement, because apparently that's what they're trying to label it as. It was just a large gathering, guys. I didn't get my coffee shop destroyed and burned down. They didn't loot my TV at a riot. It was a large gathering / civil rights movement. Yeah, new term unlocked. I mean, I think it would be sad and kind of offensive, but because, you know, you don't want to disparage MLK in what his teachings were, but also calling them civil rights gatherings would just be another level here.
The driver, an 18-year-old man, was taken into custody and charges are pending. At last check, all the officers were in fair condition. Breaking news on the city.
Yeah, so what is happening against these things? And how can we stop him? Or is Mayor Brandon Johnson just going to double down because he's more afraid of racism than he is saving the lives of his own officers?
I just really feel like we should focus more on giving them things to do in the summertime and stuff like that to keep them busy to where they don't have to feel like they got to plan 10 takeovers to have fun.
Now, one thing I will say is, it is true. People that have direction, they have hobbies to do, they don't end up doing stuff like this. They're not taking stuff over. They're not twerking on things and this or whatever. But I don't think what this basically is saying is spend more money on us and we'll stop destroying the city. That's not what you don't want them to be able to hold the city hostage because you fear for your safety. You don't want the Chicago police officers to get decked over the head with a fire extinguisher. You don't want the windshield of your car knocked out because teens decided to have a takeover. It's like, no, we don't spend more money on you to stop this. But look at Brandon Johnson sitting there like, yeah, Good point, man. Good point. Good Kids Mad City. Isn't that a rap album? Good Kids Mad City movement. Bad behavior isn't rewarded, but it has to come through the parent, not the taxpayer, because he's sitting there nodding and like, yes, yes, that is good ways to spend more of your money. Again, law-abiding citizens need to finance your failures yet again.
Any questions being? Oh, go ahead.
I would say I really don't know much about curfews because I wasn't one of those teens who would be outside for real. Like, I wasn't raised for that. But one thing I would say is that I wouldn't think that it would, because some people home, we trying to escape home. You know, teens try to escape home. So I feel like a curfew, it might belittle that, because while you trying to keep someone in the house, they could be with a Safe Spaces organization.
So I just really feel like
it's all more money, please, more money, please, money, please, more money, please. Now, like that's all it is. More spending. They already spend more than most cities. They can't get in control. Here's my solution: you lock up the people there. You set an example, because a lot of people don't understand. The justice system or a legal system is about setting a precedence, not getting justice. So sad to say, if you're actually out there at this teen takeover, you end up behind bars for 5 years. Because not because you were just walking down the sidewalk and minding your business. It's because you were literally throwing a fire extinguisher at a cop car. You put that person in prison for 5 years, put their mugshot up there, you let everybody know. This will not be tolerated. You don't need to have an extra curfew. You don't need to have extra money for a basketball program. You don't need to extract 5% more property tax from the wealthy landowners in Chicago that are leaving anyway. You don't need to do all that, because people will be afraid to it. Right now, they run at the cops laughing and squealing because they have no fear of repercussions. You need to bring back repercussions, because sad to say, it's happening everywhere. Like, this isn't even Chicago over here. This is like some barnyard. I don't know, chat. Is this? Yeah, police were ordered to stand down. But yeah, they get together, they destroy things because they're not afraid. And the crazy part is, this is over in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. It's everywhere, these quote-unquote teen takeovers where these kids actually get hurt.
It was nice, and there were so many of us for it to turn out as well as it did for so long.
For it to turn out as well as it did for so long. These takeovers were just lawlessness, third world nonsense. Was a win, guys.
I wouldn't have expected that stampede.
This video caught by an Atlantic Beach neighbor's outdoor camera shows the moments crowds of people started running away from One Direction.
And the sad part is anybody that knows anything about the Crush incident in Halloween in South Korea, you can have a large group of people, and it doesn't really take much for people to get trapped in an alleyway for everybody in the front to kind of trip and fall, stumble. They get crushed in the front, everybody gets stampeded, and people die. This very easily could happen, but it's because your mayors are too interested in saying, oh, let's get restorative justice. Let's figure out a way to extract more wealth from our taxpayers to understand. They think, oh, we just had a big turnout, so we're having fun. No, your lives are actually in danger. Your parents aren't there, and you're going to be ended because the government is too concerned about extracting money from taxpayers to actually save you.
Horry County Fire Rescue got the call to a reported stampede incident at the Stage area of the town at around 1 in the morning Sunday, a popular gathering area for those looking to enjoy Atlantic Beach Bike Fest events. Authorities say 19 people were hurt with non-life-threatening injuries, and 3 were taken to a hospital.
This time they got lucky. What about the next time? You're gonna avert it, or you're just gonna blame racism?
I didn't see anything or hear anything that would have alarmed us. However, the crowd started to just run, and of course you go into survival mode and you start to run with them.
Angel Williams says she did.
And honestly, you don't blame them. They're kids. They probably don't know any better, and everybody starts running. You don't know what you're running from, but it'd probably be smart to start running with them. And it's just the sad status of the tragic status of today's reality right there.
Didn't notice anything out of the ordinary before the stampede, but says once she noticed others around her running, she also took off.
It was nice, and there was.
But the mayor of Chicago continues to allow this to happen because it's just an acceptable loss. If a couple kids get trampled in a stampede, doesn't matter. A copper gets run over by a teen takeover in Chicago, that's okay, because he brought on 2, I'm not gonna say they're like low IQ individuals, because I don't even know how old they were, but these people saying, you know, we don't need a curfew, we don't need extra rules, we need more money. It's like, yeah, because you're just being useful idiots that line the pockets of shady politicians in Chicago. It's what do you call it? Not anarcho-tyranny, I forget what the word is, but just purposely allowing these crimes to occur so they can profit off them, and it's disgusting. Chat isn't displaying anymore. There it is. Okay, now it's back. Yeah, useful idiots, unfortunately. Yeah, don't demonize the kids, and that's the sad thing, is so much of this is hiding behind the veil that is protect the kids. Don't allow them to be hurt or whatever. It's like, you know, why won't anybody think of the children? It's what they constantly go to because they know that you can't refute it, because what, you want the kids to suffer? You want them to not have after school programs? They're so disadvantaged from us. So it's just like this non-stop thing of, as long as we can make you feel bad or make you feel like a bigot for not wanting lawlessness, we can control the narrative. When you have no purpose or hope, then this is what you get. Sad to say. Oh, thanks for the Prime sub, O'Neill the Welshman. No, Chicago is not the lowest IQ on Earth. There is far lower in this world. We need Judge Dredd. I mean, we just need the... Here's the thing. I don't even want new laws. I don't want extended, like, sentencings or whatever. I just want the existing laws to enforce to the fullest extent of the law. If we started just enforcing the things that we already have right now, I think a lot of these problems go away overnight, but the Democrats are just too used to grifting off of what they perceive as minorities. Yes, there are criminal minorities out there, but there's more law-abiding minorities than there are criminals. So when they say, in order to cater to the black vote, we're gonna go ahead and let you guys rob and steal, we're gonna go ahead and let you guys take over streets, and we're gonna offer you endless EBT, this makes me believe if you think you can get the black vote by just catering to the worst percentage of the population, that's the soft bigotry of low expectations all over again. We need RoboCop. Guys, I wouldn't be surprised if we have RoboCop sooner than later. You just want Venezuela-like actions? Exactly. You are going to sacrifice your criminal class, the freedom of your criminal class, to free the rest of society. It looks terrible. You look at the CCAT prison, it doesn't look good when they're all crammed in there. You know, I think they just have boxer briefs, they get masked, they get handcuffed. But what would I rather have? Criminals? Gang tattoos, affiliation, drug trafficking, histories of this, convictions of this. Would I rather sacrifice them? Would I rather sacrifice the innocent school kid getting murdered on the way to class? We don't live in a Pixar movie. This is a genuine equation we gotta work through. I'm sorry, that's El Salvador, not Venezuela. Thank you. RoboCop would just go after the innocents. Yeah, UK RoboCop would arrest you for having wrongthink. I mean, Ecuador. I don't think it's Ecuador. I think it was CCAT was El Salvador, like you said. No, that's RoboCop 2, yeah. El Salvador? Yeah. Thank you. Well, we got to talk about what's happening over in New Jersey, where outside Delaney Hall, this is immigration a center. So you got Antifa out there cheering this on. They just have the shadow of some random guy in a window, and they don't know if he's in there because he was trafficking girls. They don't know if he was trafficking substances. They don't know if this guy's a literal murderer. All these Antifa idiots know is he's in jail, and we represent the prisoners over law enforcement. I got a whistle. We support you. Free them. You don't know what he's in jail for. Antifa flag, One Piece pirate flag. It's insane to know that so many of these situations where they're arresting somebody, it's not even doesn't even have to be ICE. It'd be situations where local law enforcement was arresting a PDF, and you have these Antifa or these anti-ICE idiots saying, "Leave him alone. He's got a family. He's just going to work." And it's like, no, we're arresting PDFs. we caught them attacking kids, whatever the case may be. But these idiots are always out there shouting and cheering, oh, leave them alone. It's like because they have nothing beyond the capacity of what I was programmed, law enforcement good, criminals bad, even though you've never seen a more vulnerable audience of people ever, because a lot of them will be not necessarily disabled, but just harmless. And I'm not trying to be like a bully and saying, oh, I could beat these guys up or whatever, but many of these individuals here have no self-defense abilities. And they mean to say, free the criminals because they're going to go after not me, not the most vulnerable population in society. Free them all. I want to go up there and ask them, like, okay, some of them are PDFs, some of them are murderers, some of them are like what was it, the Kilmore guy? Didn't the Kilmore Abrego Garcia, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't he have a case of like domestic V? Wasn't he harming his ex current wife? I don't know. To my understanding, that was one of the charges he had. You want him to be free? Did your feminism go out the window right now? Or immigration's more important than feminism? Or the people trafficking kids? Like, is this what you want free? Again, stupidity. You're saying they're PDFs, that's why they don't care? Yeah, because your drum and your chance is having... Can you imagine that just an ICE agent, like, I think the chair for me, like, because they're idiots, they don't know what's going on. But again, so over in New Jersey, you have this, and then, so this is like from the sun up, sun down. So this is at the end of the day before the 24th. And if you aren't following Freedom News TV or Scootercast in New York, you gotta follow her on Twitter. Best journalists out there. We demand, we let you guys in and out. We decided, it's like, they're not stopping anything. These people need a hobby. Get into Pokemon cards. I don't care. Get into something that isn't impeding federal law enforcement. But again, they only do this because places like New Jersey allow it to occur. Ice go-go dancers. Essentially, yes, that's what it was.
That van. Everybody from visitation in 2A, when they came out, they heard a banging on the door, on the window.
Okay, what? Prisoners want to be set free. What? This proves nothing.
And they are telling me that it's my husband. Because everyone in Unit 2A...
Yeah, why is your husband in there? If you two were married. I'm sick of this narrative. And I don't want to be mean to this girl specifically, but I've heard this a lot. Where you have someone saying, I'm married, we've been married for 5 years, and my husband or their wife isn't illegal, so they're being deported now. And it's like, well, to my understanding, don't you guys get citizenship when you get married? Unless the person you got married to has reasons the country doesn't want you to become a citizen. So is it because their murky history, their murky past, or maybe their illegal activity once they've gotten into the country or before they got into the country? Is there a reason why you shouldn't be a citizen? And is there a reason why you knew you could reside here or as home country and you chose not to? You chose until the federal government had to spend the money to deport you. The simple fact that it's my husband, so you can't separate families, doesn't detract from the fact that there's probably a legal reason why we have to separate you two.
Says that he was released, but that was a lie. How long ago was that? Like 350.
Detention centers and jails. We don't want them. There are other ways of addressing our issues in society.
I'm hoping that they comply with what they said. They said they were releasing him. They made him sign an order of release.
Okay. Is he out?
Not a...
Wait. Is there... Okay, so maybe her husband's just a rioter, not an illegal immigrant. That might make sense.
Self-deportation release. An order of release. He signed it, and I'm holding them accountable to that. They are...
You're not holding anybody... You're not doing anything. If you were doing something, you wouldn't be out there activists marching and protesting. You'd be hiring an attorney. That would be the way you beat them. Like, what do they say? When you get arrested on the street, you can beat them in court, but you can't beat them on the street. Just comply at that point in time, because you don't want to get ended on the street from a cop, because you're not resisting and fighting them. There's only one way you're going to win this.
They are releasing him.
Yeah, you guys coming with gas masks and goggles lets me know that you're anticipating getting maced. which makes me think you've been maced before, and you still haven't learned your lesson.
And he's been detained here ever since. Because I started this protest outside to close Delaney Hall and to free every detainee here, they were retaliating on him since Friday when the protest started. The first question was, if we free you now, will you tell your wife to stop this protest?
I doubt that. No, I think you're making up stories. I think you're making up stories.
He said no comment. They asked him, did you know your wife was organizing this protest outside? He said no comment. They asked him, are you the one organizing this strike inside? He said no comment, I just want to be taken to my cell. They took that too literal. And they locked him in his cell for 8 hours. I didn't hear anything about it.
This is like are you mad? No, I'm not mad. You should just know what I want. You should know what I want for dinner. Like this is like domestic arguments of like, just take me to my cell. I don't have any comments. They took me wrong. They took me out of context and they put me into my cell. It's like these people, they can't exist in society.
For 8 hours. I am tired of them taking control of the situation.
Because they're law enforcement. If you're tired of law enforcement impeding in your life, maybe adhere to the law and stop this nonsense.
They retaliated on me yesterday during visitation rights. I had like 20 or so minutes because
okay, so she's busy.
They wanted to talk to me first before they brought him down. When they brought him down, they were interrogating him upstairs. Today, I was...
You're right, she is reading off something. I don't care anymore. But okay, now, from the daytime to the nighttime, they're still blocking cars leaving this facility, the Delaney Hall ICE detention facility. Oh, shame. We're shaming you. This stops nothing. They've been at this for over a year now. All it's done is gotten 2 of their protesters lit up. Lives are lost forever. This little LARP here has caused lives, and yet they're still out there. You get to go home. They really think they're doing something. Because the sad thing is, should there be an emergency and that car needed to floor through this little human blockade, they could. But they're using the kid gloves on them because, sad to say, that's where they are mentally. Can't think stupid yet. And it's sad because all it is, I don't know if these are the taxpayers or this is the EBT class, but it's federal money. These coppers or these federal agents, they're making money regardless. They're at work. They get paid hourly. The longer they're there, the more they get paid. They haven't stopped a single deportation. That woman's husband or whatever is still in custody. They're not accomplishing anything other than making their little social media video. Oh no, they're shaming us. We must be doing something right. Projection. Get a real effing job. No. The guy working for the federal government, getting a nice, beautiful pension, and also protecting his community, detaining dangerous individuals that are fugitives from the law, and also dealing with insane individuals that want to martyr themselves and make you out to be the bad guy. That's not a real job. But whatever this is, where you're able to take off so much time from work and have all this free time to be blocking the streets to accomplish nothing again. That's real work. Government worker, not real work. Drama class rejects. No, drama class graduates. Nothing against people that want to be in the arts. I have lots of friends that are art. But this is what happens when you don't get all eyes on you. When you're in drama school, you pay the teacher to watch you. When you're in like a little production of something, local production, people pay to see you. And all of a sudden you get out to the real world and you don't get attention anymore. Wait, in school, everybody was there. The students were paying to see me speak. The teacher was being paid to see me speak. And now as an adult, nobody cares what the fuck I have to say. How do I get that type of attention again? I'm like a fiend. I need to be the center of attention. And here it is. Here it is, guys. This nonsense. Oh my God, guys.
She has a name, bitch! Mary Hornet! Black! From Danae!
I don't know about you. I don't like the way that he said that word.
Shut up, Saladin! You want to die, you bitch! You want to USA! KKK, no fascist USA!
Okay, so bad enough. We're not gonna watch all of them, but they keep on trying to do it. Ice roughed him up. Finally, it's happening. So you have 3 guys that are beholden to the taxpayer, beholden by their chain of command. Where are they using the kid gloves on them? Do they think that if they can't withstand a gentle removal from a couple ICE agents, could they actually stop a dangerous individual from kidnapping them and selling them off into slavery? Their little barricade to stop a cop car. This person just shoving a little... That's when you know they're playing. They're playing for... It's just for play. This is LARPing. They're on a drama set because they're not actually trying to stop this cop car. Hey! I got lightly shoved. I was in front of a cop car. I'm literally trying to save your life, but getting lightly shoved is a hey, look, you watch what you're doing.
Hey, what's going on?
Oh no, I got shoved. It's like, come on, man. Like, what do they expect? Oh, you're a Nazi now. You're a Nazi because everywhere enforces border laws. I wonder if they're so afraid of all the people getting deported to Mexico, will they call the Mexican authorities also Nazis for enforcing their border laws, to which they do, and when they do, it's much, much more aggressive than what we're seeing here.
Get back! Get back! Get the fuck here! I did nothing to you! Fuck you!
Yeah, all this posture, all this posturing lets me know you want the fight, but only because you're gonna sue them. That's it. Yelling into a gas mask. Yes.
Get the fuck out of here! Back the fuck up! Back the fuck up! Repent!
And not a single deportation was stopped. Lightly kicks the barricade back at him. They're toddlers. They are toddlers. This is adult daycare. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. I know he threw that over there, but can you imagine if he just took that little cone and just decked him over the head over it? I don't want that to happen, but you can only imagine. A human barricade on the ground. So, okay. They were doing that at night. Human barricading on the ground, being so sad, they got gently tossed aside. And always take notice of the groups of ICE protesters are far less diverse than the ICE agents themselves. Really makes you think. But again, they're toddlers. Here they are the next morning. These are like kids that didn't get the toy from the toy store. Now they're demanding it.
That's illegal in New Jersey. You can't have something.
Be one American.
Why don't you get the agents to walk away and then we'll move on?
Because later on, they had it.
That's 200%.
Justice is our demand.
No peace on stolen land.
Wait. So what is it? Is it birthright citizenship, or is it no? This is stolen land. Like, there's nothing consistent other than America bad.
Don't use your voice. Your bosses are telling you not to use your voice.
Fair enough, fair enough.
You're using your voice. He's like, use your voice, and they bring out the Bearcat with, I think there's like the MRAP, the thing, not the MRAP, the LRAD, the thing that can like make a voice like shout inside your brain, like use your voice, and then you bring out the Bearcat, poetic justice. Yeah, I don't think your voice is gonna work against that thing. Just laughing at him. I'm getting paid. I'm getting paid. Sad to say, a lot of you guys are probably getting paid too.
You want an easy job? Go to a job.
Wait, what you say? You want an easy job? What?
You are just not You want an easy job? Go to a job.
Chat, what did you say? You want an easy job? What? Again, I can't take you seriously with your N95 mask. I just can't. N95 mask in 2026, I can't take it seriously.
Nazi piece of shit.
Go to the job center. Again, projection. You pointed towards the job center. You know what the job center is. Good God. Go to the cheesy. I don't know.
Took my neighbor. You took my neighbor. Go do the jobs they do on the camps. Go in the farms.
You guys are fucking.
You took my neighbors. Remember that. You took my neighbors. How would you like if they took your wife? And you can't even look at my goddamn wife. How would
She's just, this is a game to her. This is a game to her. This is her hobby. This is like the, I'm on stage, hear me roar. Yeah, let's speak this the language of the place we demand we don't live. How much you want to bet a lot of these people don't even know what that is? Oh, I can't hear you guys. Come on, bring out the Bearcat.
No. Fuck it. I'm not doing it myself.
Wait, did this catch? Did he think he was gonna do something? He's like, they're bringing out the Bearcat. Let me human shield protect these immigrants, and then he realized, wait, nobody else is gonna do this with me? Well, I'm not gonna get run over. I expect you to get run over for me. Sorry, buddy, you're not popular enough to start this. This is like the slow clap version of like protesters. He thought he was doing something.
No. Is anybody? No.
Is anybody? Nope.
Fuck it. I'm not doing it myself.
Yeah, you shouldn't. Pathetic. This was the guy that was dancing in the window the other night.
Take orders, take orders. Make sure you listen to the orders.
Again, they've said this millions of times. It has not abolished ICE.
And then what happened? There was the ICE presence came out. They came out.
Came with a fleet of vehicles, right? There were some children in some of the vehicles right here. So obviously, a lot of us dropped.
And the nightstick coming out. Good time.
No, I told him, can you stay out here? Can you go?
Are these attorneys?
Back up! And the line!
Yeah, Yeah, so stalemate, nothing happening. But then someone says, foaming at the mouth, meltdown the second she sees ICE agents in TAC gear. There's a reason they have to be in TAC gear now.
ICE is here. ICE is here at Delaney Hall. ICE is here. And they are in tactical gear.
Well, maybe because they're swarmed by like over 100 people wearing gas masks. This might be an indication that you need to have riot gear on. Like during the BLM Summer of Love, they used to say, "Why are you in riot gear? I don't see a riot here." And it's like, there's been riots every single night. Why do you think they? But again, you can't adhere to these people. You can't satisfy them because they're idiots. Oh, they're bringing out the zip ties. And again, she's having a meltdown because they're in tactical gear. If she was really afraid, she wouldn't be running up to them and shoving a camera in their face. She'd be hiding and cowering in fear.
And these are their faces, everyone. Oh my God, leave her alone! Leave her alone!
She's obviously behind the line and...
Leave her alone! Oh my God!
Yeah, lightly dragging them back across to the safety.
Oh my God! Leave her alone! Leave her alone!
So what happens if, and I'm not saying all immigrants are, but some of these people in custody have committed atrocities towards women. So you mean to say you want to free random people just because they're in custody just because you've been told immigrants good, cops bad? Should they commit another crime against, let's say, this lady? You don't want it to be her, but against this lady. Do you think your screeching and hollering of leave her alone is going to save them? Or do you need a ton of men armed with federal powers to be able to save them? But again, you're not thinking that far ahead.
Fuck you, fucking piece of shit!
Okay.
I got your phone.
Yeah, so hysterical, and they're like, wait, why am I getting arrested? Why am I getting arrested? No. This just keeps on going on forever. Like, they haven't stopped. They're still there. The Bearcat's still there. Still being lightly arrested, but it's sad because it's just nothing stops them. Oh yeah, oh this is today, Memorial Day. They're still there. They've been there for multiple days now. Because the other incidents were, what was it? From yesterday until today. But the sad part is because they've been fed nonsense on what I believe is like Chinese Reddit. They genuinely believe ICE is quietly rolling out a $55 billion with a B, $55 billion crematorium network. 2,000 upvotes, so a lot of them are buying this. And they say they're moving to a death camp mode already. By this timeline of 1938, there should already be fiercely anti-fascism resistance and partisans, which is strangely enough people in frog costumes and not armed up to their... Yeah, if I were you, this person wants you to pack up arms, like, and have 1,000 rounds and have like a civil war. Because somebody told them. This guy's got 900 upvotes because somebody told them ICE is rolling out a crematorium network. You say, yeah, you can't make this up. They just made this shit up. Like, what? They think there's $55 billion making a crematorium network, and that's why they're out there. And here's the thing is, there's no off-ramp to this. You can't teach these people, hey, you know what? That whole crematorium network thing, that was a lie. No. They believe it, so they really think they're fighting fascism. They're freedom fighters. That's how you got, like, I don't know if I'll be able to find it, but that old man, like, laying down on the ground in front of the Bearcat, like, thinking he was doing something. That's how you get this right here, where militarized federal forces, oh, I'm not even showing my screen now. Militarized federal forces squaring off with citizens with nothing better to do because they believe nonsense like, oh, they're gonna start burning them. They're not deporting them, because that's what they keep on saying. They even offer the immigrants, I think it's like $2,500 now, self-deport. We'll give you time to get work set out. We'll give you time to send your money back home. We'll get you time to arrange your free travel home, and we're going to give you a cash card of $2,500 or so dollars. It's either that or the crematorium. Like they're genuinely insane. But again, they have to keep on upping the ante. First they say they're separating families, kids in cages. Oh, they were whipping migrants on their horses at the border. Like they keep on having to up the cruelty that's going against them. Now they have to go full like 1940s Germany. They're burning them alive now. Not burning them alive, but they're burning them now. They keep on saying that Alligator Alcatraz didn't get you at the heartstrings. Now there's a $55 billion U.S. taxpayer-funded crematorium. They're nuts, and there's no rational, or there's no talking them off this now. These people think they want a civil war, but if one starts, they will be the first ones complaining on how bad things are after they started the whole problem. And the sad part is they're so reliant on like the EBT class. We need free handouts and stuff. It's like, no, you guys realize that one, if you're like a Starbucks barista, nothing against baristas, you know, you're working a hard job, you're out there, but I don't think that those jobs are going to be around like jobs of luxury, you know, $5 coffees or just collecting your EBT check because you have social anxiety or whatever. That stuff all goes out the window once we go into total war, where everything goes to the war efforts of civil war, whatever it is, like federal government gets dissolved, whatever it is. Like they're going to start to need to pull their own weight. They're going to be in a factory manufacturing shells, manufacturing body armor. They're going to be doing something or being sent to the front line. Do they really think that, oh yeah, my neighbor's going to be farming, my other neighbor's going to be like being a nurse for the people that are harmed, my other neighbor is going to be in the factory making body armor, but I'm going to be a podcaster and community organizer telling everybody how we should all just be friends more. It's like, no, all that nonsense jobs, all that extra like performative shit that goes out the window, you are going to be suffering. They would be the designers for water manufacture, yeah. They're all spread out in cities, are the opposite of self-sufficient. Exactly. City kids won't be surviving. You're gonna be forming, like, sad to say, once world war breaks out, anti-gun lefties versus pro-gun, pro-football, and pro-farming, like self-sufficiency, pro-hunting. There's one side that my money's on right now. Hunters and farmers, exactly. You're going to go to the mines, exactly. Somebody's got to mine the coal. Somebody's got to work on the oil rig. And sad to say, like, they talk about communism, how, oh, it's going to benefit me because I'm going to be, you know, at the helm of it. I'm going to be the Hassan Piker of the face of socialism. It's like, no, I've seen you guys at these protests. I've seen you guys at these riots. I don't think you guys have leadership potential. Yeah, gangs will turn into bandits and start raiding people's homes, raiding their homes, and also harming their most vulnerable. Can they stop them? I doubt it. They could barely throw a traffic cone at a ICE officer with wearing the kid gloves against them. Oh, you'll have cannibal gangs appear in like post-war Germany, and that's a sad thing I think about. Is like, you know, I think as Americans, me included, you look down on countries that like devour their canines. It's a racist thing to talk about Koreans or Vietnamese doing it, but it does happen because when you live in abject poverty and your child is starving and you just haven't had a calorie in 3 days, if there's just some random ass call on the streets of like a stray dog on the street and it's a difference of your child surviving or you devouring a dog, some people are gonna have to do it. Like there's gonna be survival circumstances should stuff really hit the fan. You don't want that to happen here, but it very easily could. Like how many skipped meals are we from just pure anarchy? I think about, I don't have anything right now, but like, you know, I'm a big watch guy. That Audemars Piguet, the AP and Swatch collaboration, had all these people lining up outside shopping malls, fighting each other, cops macing them, and they're just trying to get a $500 watch they can maybe sell for $1,000. Anarchy. Like police resources had to be deployed and it was like a riot. Imagine you swap out AP Swatch with the last vial of insulin for your sick kid, with the last bottle of fresh water, with the last ounce of protein powder. If we go crazy for a watch, just watch what happens in these cities when there's no food anymore. You have a 15400 Royal Oaks. The watch thing is vile, but honestly, okay, so I don't have an Omega watch. I really like the Speedmaster. I like the Seamaster, but my wrist is just too small for the Seamaster. When they came out with the Swatch, I have a Swatch in one of these containers over here. The coolest thing ever. I like watches, can't afford your $10,000 piece, so then I get my alternative version. I can be a part of the watch group, like the watch enthusiasts, and it's fun, and I feel good when I wear it. So yeah, you may not like the devaluation of your watch, but honestly, it just makes the whole thing like relevant to the rest of us. It's weird. So on chat right here, it's not showing YouTube chat. I don't get why that's... No, now it is. No, wait. Yeah, that's Twitch chat. YouTube just isn't showing anymore. Let me try to fix this real quick. You want to get a lighter watch? I mean, I really want a... what do you call it? A titanium. Like the Grand Seiko is awesome. And the Cartier titanium watch is awesome. I figured with hitting 1 million subscribers, I'd do something big like that. But honestly, I probably need to be an adult and start looking at a house. So yeah, it's gotta get my priorities straight. Where is my chat thing? It's not popping up. Yeah, Arrow's popping up. He's on Twitch. Night Dev, is this? Yeah, this. Let's see. This is not... It's very bizarre. Let me see. How to fix this thing. Yeah, the chat is not working. Oh, it's Streamlabs that I'm on. Never mind. Huh. Let's see. You know what? I'm not going to do this right now because it's requiring too much stuff. Might have to reset the streams. Honestly, I probably have to, how do I just refresh the browser? Maybe I'll do that. Or is it just gonna... Wow, oh my god, the chat just like had to catch up. Maybe I just had to refresh it. That looks good. Yeah, Bite Deity had a super chat, thanks. I was saying, I'll read all the super chats at the end of the show, but it says, imagine society collapse, you send a group to go hunt wild pigs, they come back like, no, these are our pets, what would you do? I'm not gonna starve, man. Like, I want to feel like I'm holier than thou, and I'm willing to, like, you know, do survival and actually, like, choose myself over, like, cute animals, but, I feel like I would have... If I was starving, that pig is gonna look like a sausage muffin very quickly. We're gonna talk... Okay, so we're gonna talk about what's happening over in Los Angeles because... it's becoming third world nonsense.
The LAPD working to counter what they call a health and safety hazard.
How is this America in one of the most wealthy parts of the country in like May 21, 2026? Like I have a video of me driving by one of these things in LA while one of those autonomous Waymos drives by it, and I'm like, this is officially Elysium. The uber wealthy, technologically advanced, next to the literal serf class living in third world squalor.
Officers, they were called to a homeless encampment just west of downtown LA. Items were blocking the sidewalk and the encampment was crawling with rats.
And the sad part is, if you have your car parked 5 minutes too long in like a 1 hour parking zone, they'll give you a ticket. If you're a junkie,
downtown LA, items were
just leaving all your shit out there forever, you get free needles and Narcan.
Blocking the sidewalk and the encampment was crawling with rats. Officers made several arrests, issued multiple citations. Officers say encampments like this are dangerous because they make it impossible for people to use the sidewalk.
But they also breed like diseases and plagues that we haven't seen for like centuries, and they're coming back
safely, especially people with disabilities.
Okay, the LAPD 7, you're out there, okay, trying to protect. It's not because you, the tax-paying citizen, has to be bothered by it. It's because there's another class of people we're saying is more special and they need more care. Obviously, you want to help the disabled, but sad to say, if this was just impacting you, the tax-paying citizen, apparently they wouldn't care. But now you have Spencer Pratt, I guess it's ABC7 still, but he's the only politician in Los Angeles running for mayor making any sense right now.
What are your plans for the over 40,000 homeless in Los Angeles?
Yeah, well, they're not homeless. They're drug addicts.
Yep, exactly. There's a difference between a homeless guy collecting cans, just trying to make it by, and a bum getting high on fentanyl, passing out on the bus stop, and then attacking people as they pass by. If you can't make the difference between those two classes, you're never going to be able to address the problem.
These people are addicted to fentanyl and meth. This isn't Spencer making it up.
Are you saying they don't have homes?
There is places for all of these people.
He's trying to get them back. You do mean homeless people? We're talking about the same thing. It's like, no, we don't. There's a difference between bums and homeless people. Homeless people can make it back. Bums will always be a drain on society.
People to sleep in LA. No matter what anybody tells you, we have housing and shelter for everyone that's living on the street. They are choosing to be on the street because they want to do drugs. They don't want rules. They don't want to listen. They want to have animals to
because they don't want a job. Like, how many people you see on Reddit places like, guys, I can't do it. I can't do it. Like, working 8 to 9 or working 8 hours a day with a 1 hour commute both ways and just having unfulfilling work. I can't see my life being like that forever. And then they choose homelessness and drug abuse instead. But it's like this level of entitlement that if I don't want to work, there's an alternative. You need to make it so there's no alternative other than being a net positive for society. No longer giving people free passes is going to hurt because you're going to see people suffer, but you're going to get rid of this continuous cycle of homelessness taking over cities.
This idea that they're forced on the street right now is a lie that our city is perpetuating. We've paid $24 billion.
They perpetuate that lie because they can make money off the homeless industrial complex, which we're going to talk about in a brief moment. But yes, it's not because they don't think that they can do better or they want to help them out. It's because they can become multi-millionaires in the process of profiting off of the new homeless industrial complex.
To house these 40,000 people. There's spots for all of these people. They are choosing because they're an addict and you can do fentanyl and sewer meth on the sidewalk with no repercussions. These places are not as, they have to follow some rules. You can't torture a dog in some of these houses. You can't just...
And it's crazy how they always move the goalposts. Like, we want to protect animals. But if you're a homeless junkie beating up, like I've seen this, beating up your chihuahua like a piñata on their collar, well, you know, that person's doing worse off than the defenseless dog, so you gotta help out the homeless junkie. And it's like the same thing with like the feminists. Protect women's rights, but then all of a sudden immigration becomes a bigger thing and the guy is known to harm and traffic women. Okay, well, immigration's our new shiny thing, so, you know, just shove aside women's rights and women's safety. It's always this moving goalpost because they don't have virtues, they have talking points.
Attack people. You can't just be naked.
Where are you going to move?
Well, I just released a 9-minute video, so you can.
I think I saw your video.
Yeah, so it's very detailed.
It's going to take time to build the facility and money.
No.
How fast do you think you can do it?
These people can literally. I went to Washington and I saw my
thing is you don't build them a homeless shelter. You send them out to Tent City and make the Tent City out in Palmdale. Give them some sort of arduous task to do where they actually have to contribute and do something to earn their government assistance, but no longer saying, you know what, you're a homeless bum on Venice and you were just chasing somebody and you let something on fire the other day. Let's get you beachfront property. Cost the taxpayer $44 million for 30 units of apartment complexes. Let's get you that nice beachfront property. Don't reward bad behavior. Don't let them just squat in the most valuable real estate in California or valuable real estate in the country. You send them out to Palmdale. You send them out to Bakersfield and let them figure it out over there. Gone are the days that people get to profit off of this nonsense.
Of the most insane prefabricated housing and building. I asked all the CEOs of these companies, say, how long does this take? I met with FEMA and HUD. 3 days. 3 days.
Yeah, why is it that you can have, what was it, the Baltimore Bridge that went down because that one thing mysteriously lost power and took out the bridge? And it's like it's like slated to be completed in 3 years. But then in Florida, the one bridge goes down and within a week ahead of schedule and under budget, the bridge is back. They take these crises and say, you know what? How can we drain this crisis that everybody's paying attention to for every tax dollar we can get our grubby little mitts on? These problems can be fixed very quickly if you wanted to fix these issues. And unless you want to use these issues as fundraising opportunities, then of course it's going to take long.
All of this is cheaper than trying to...
Please don't send them to Bakersfield. We'll send them 10 miles out from Bakersfield then. Sorry about that.
Take over, kick senior citizens out of their buildings is what happens. They kick them out, and then the NGOs come in and they spend 4 years. This is LA. This is LA's timetable.
Where is this facility going to be?
It's on beautiful federal land property.
Where, in LA County?
Well, when I'm mayor, I'll go meet with the federal government and I'll get the property. Right?
He's sending them far away.
Right now, I'm just running, so I can't give you the exact address because I don't have the legal...
He's so desperately trying to make him look bad, but he's just saying what we all want, and it's glorious.
Responsibility to go represent Los Angeles and say, can I have this land? But when I'm mayor, I promise you, because we have the Olympics coming and everybody in the government wants LA to be the #1 most beautiful city, they will work with me to give me the land I need.
So you're going to move these 40,000 people somewhere and you're going to have this facility up in, you said how long?
Here's what you got to realize.
90 days?
Let me explain something.
You know what? Spencer Pratt can just make up any number he wants because ABC7's never going to call out Governor Gavin Newsom when he says, I need another $10 billion to build my bridge to nowhere. My bullet train to nowhere. They never call him out on that. He can say, I'll have that facility built in a day. What are they going to do? Call me out for my lie? That's all the politicians do is lie.
40,000 people, 60% of them, City Watch just announced this week, are not from Los Angeles.
Yes.
They're not from California.
Oh man, we just did, like a couple years ago, me and the Decoy Squad, we just did like in-person interviews out there in the street. And we talked to the homeless people that were over on Santa Monica all the way over to Venice. And so many of them, even the one guy we met who was high out of his mind. Like I think we're wearing hoodies and jackets and he's barefoot without a shirt on. And he just arrived there and it's like somebody bust him in to Venice. And it was sad.
These people have been bussed in by scam rehabs, scam NGOs, scam homeless.
Because they can cycle the same homeless people from place to place, take them down in their head count, and make money off them. It's a scumbag thing. It's just like what they did over in New York City when you had all the migrants being bussed in and to the Roosevelt Hotel. They found out that if you're just an adult male, military age male alone, you can't get a room. The rooms are now reserved because there's so many immigrants. You can get a room if you're a family. So if you have a male and a female and a kid, you can get a hotel room. So they found out that they were recycling the same girl and same kid to be mates with countless amounts of men so they can get themselves a nice free hotel room. Same thing happens with a homeless industrial complex. Let's just go ahead and say, bust in 100 homeless people, they disappear. We covered it on Decaf Decoy, where homeless people were disappearing because they were just getting rotated through all the different homeless shelters. It's disgusting.
Nonprofits, these people, when I unplug them and say we're not taking our tax money anymore, they're all going to Seattle where the mayor will welcome them. Good. These are products to a lot of people. So the people that want to keep doing drugs and live on the sidewalk, a lot of these people are going to leave. The other ones, there's a lot of criminals. There's people that are getting naked in front of kids. They're going to jail. The people that are torturing animals, they're going to jail. So not everyone goes in the same box. So we have the money, we have the resources, and we have the facility.
Yeah, if you're going to spend $100 million on this, might as well get them, not necessarily the care they need, but the consequences they deserve. But here we go. Karen Basorda, running for re-election. What does she want to solve the homelessness issue? Give me more money.
Today we're filling the gap when Social Security no longer covers. Today we're filling the gap when Social Security no longer covers the cost of a mortgage or rent. Today we are bringing help for caretakers.
Help, aka taxpayer dollars, to people that aren't entitled to your money. They don't get your money.
With disabilities who struggle to make ends meet. And today we are investing in housing as part of our work to lower the cost of housing for everyone. Today we are preventing.
They're gonna lower the cost of housing by not taking away any of the red tape of building homes. So the zoning laws are the same. You can't build more homes. We can import tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, if not millions of immigrants into your city. But we're going to lower the price of housing. The math ain't mathin'. Not a math Asian, but you can't have not increased supply, more of a demand, but the prices will mysteriously go down.
Homelessness and
also property tax and homeowners, they're gonna foot the bill for everything else. Nothing makes sense.
Housing affordability with the release of $14 million in housing assistance and $300 million for housing.
This investment of $360 million is to build, preserve, and enhance affordable housing.
There it is. Build, preserve, and enhance. So how much of that is going to go to building? Is that going to be all $100 million on like 10 units of beachfront property? And also enhance money in the pockets of other scumbags and preserve money in the pockets of scumbags? They're just going to pass around the money amongst themselves saying, homelessness deserve homes. That's why I get paid.
Across Los Angeles. And I'm proud to share that 25 of those 80 projects are right here in CD14, representing more than
a kickback. We got a kickback going on, guys. So satisfied with yourself.
1,700 units of affordable.
And how many of them are going to get built? Is this going to be exactly like the bullet train? 1,700 units are going to be built. We'll build 5 of them and call it a day. And say we need more money. More money now. Yes. We were able to figure out this scandal, not the scandal, this crisis, and make it into a payday for us. It's disgusting top to bottom. But again, the homeless spending is always a scam, and the worst scam has actually been revealed right now, where PATH, what is it, people assisting the homeless. I don't know much about PATH. I do know about LAHSA. It's like LA Homeless Authority or something like that. I worked near a shopping mall for a couple years. Worked near a shopping mall. I would always see those LAHSA idiots around the area whenever I'd walk to get a coffee, whether it be in the morning, going over there to get lunch, or going there in the afternoon to get my second coffee. The LAHSA people, like 10 of them, would be hanging out at the shopping mall, not doing nothing. Sure, there's homeless people at the shopping mall, but they're not in the homeless encampments. They're out there sipping tea and getting Wetzel pretzels on my tax dollars because LAHSA was just nothing but a scam to me. And how we have PATH doing objectively worse.
People assisting the homeless. Yesterday it was revealed that a former PATH employee was arrested by the federal DEA for intending to distribute fentanyl to people living around MacArthur Park.
Make the problem, profit off the problem, and also collect tax dollars because you are the problem.
This site takes up a couple of blocks right here in the middle of Council District 13, just north of Beverly between Virgil and Vermont. Yet the spill out from PATH, because of their laissez-faire approach to all these encampments that grow up around them, stretches much farther. There's Firehouse 6 here, and the firefighters have reported having feces thrown at them. They've had to double secure their front door because of the theft.
And the sad thing is, if you think of firefighters, everybody thinks of firefighters, big, strong, capable men. All they do is, they don't sleep, they're not lazy, but when you sleep well, you get buff. When you have a gym on site and other men around you, you get buff because you work out a lot. A group of hyper-masculine men in uniform with government backing get poo thrown at them because the homeless aren't afraid of them. Imagine you want a big, strong, buff firefighter with 5 other masculine men around you. Imagine you're a 5'0" Asian girl walking home from your office job throughout downtown LA. We have a major problem if they're not afraid of firefighters. We have our most vulnerable getting much worse behavior thrown at them. But again, they don't care about saving the vulnerable people. They just care about saving the people that they can drain tax resources with.
But what bothers me the most is that there are at least 6 schools all within a block of here. This is a solid work.
Oh, was it Nithya Raman? Didn't she campaign on, we're not going to stop homeless encampments near schools because what's the difference between 5 yards and 100 yards or whatever her argument was? Don't care about the people. F you, taxpayer, filthy peasant. Get back to working. Finance my next homeless project so I can sneak money to my shady political allies.
Working class neighborhood, and these kids and their parents are walking past this squalor, this open air drug use every single day. And no one seems to care. Not PATH, not the council office.
They're too busy selling drugs to them.
No one seems to care to secure the area. care enough to make sure that these kids are safe. I think
and the sad part is this is just a concerned mother on her TikTok or Instagram, whatever this is. Should she be seen by like the general populace on like far left internet, like Reddit? They'd see her as a MAGA conservative. Oh, you must be like Spencer Pratt. You're a MAGA conservative. You hate immigrants, don't you? And it's like, no, you're a concerned mother, but they're gonna classify you as far right now.
We've had enough. We've had enough in this district.
Yeah, we've had enough. Not enough, but you know, Karen Bass's solution is give us more money now. And the sad part is, what is it? U.S. Attorney Azalea said they found him just because he made a U-turn in front of the LAPD. They found 142 grams of fentanyl, 46 grams of meth. He's got a mandatory minimum of 5 years, maximum 40. Hopefully he gets 40 years, but he worked for PATH. So apparently either he made the connections while working for the homeless industrial complex, or he was working for the homeless industrial complex and finding clientele. It's sad. But yeah, LA Times out there saying LA's safer than it's been in decades, but crime's an issue dominating the mayor's race because nobody believes your crime stats. How many times I gotta tell the story is long time ago I had an employee, he got robbed at knife point, and when we made the report with LAPD, the next day they mailed us something in and it said, okay, it wasn't felony armed robbery. Guy pulls a knife out on you and says, I'm taking your shit. It was brandishing. So we got one report for brandishing where the guy pulled out a knife and another report for petty theft saying, yeah, he took your shit and he also pulled a knife on you. But we can break up this larger crime, like a Kit Kat bar, into just 2 smaller misdemeanors. Crime rate goes down. Copper appeases his watch commander. Watch commander gets a promotion for saying, hey, we had, proactive policing and crime rates went down. Felony batteries went down. It's like, no, it didn't. But you just were able to juke the stats. Same way if I say, like, I'm driving down LA. Oh, thanks for the Prime sub, Pobita. Crazy Asian old man driver hits my car on the freeway. He looks like he's passing out as he drives. I called 911 saying, hey, you got a guy on the freeway. He's passing out. He just hit my car. 911 operator just said, hey, pull over on the side of the road and don't follow him. And then I'll direct you to the nearest CHP station. I'm like, no, you need to send a copper to this guy. He's going to kill somebody. And they're like, no, we don't have anybody available. So just wait until you can make it to the CHP department and then file a report over there. And it's like, you just want to make it as difficult as possible for me to file this crime. Because what was the other one? It's me saying, hey, a car got broken into. You call the copper. Either 1, they don't want to show up. 2, you stay on hold for over an hour, so you just hang up. Or 3, they show up and say, okay, I'm not going to take a report here. Take the report online. You file out the report online. A day later, it gives you your pre-incident report. And the day after that, they reject your report saying, hey, look, this isn't the crime you're going to file online. You need to come into the substation nearest to where the crime occurred. So not the substation in LA that I live near, but the substation of where my car was broken into. Meaning to say, if I was just visiting somewhere else, they want me to drive all the way over there, wait in that long-ass line, talk to some cop, have him fill something out, and me not have the video evidence or whatever I needed to file this thing. They're just trying to make reporting of crime as difficult and as frustrating as possible so the crime can go down and they can say, no, we need another socialist mayor because they got crime rates down. You once called the cops watching a person breaking into cars and I was asked if I knew the person. They refused to take a report even though I had it on camera. Exactly. Like the most frustrating thing I saw was an employee's car got broken into and they're like, okay, well, we're not going to dust for fingerprints because this isn't like a back alley. Anybody could have touched the car. And I was like, no. You fingerprint this vehicle. Like, it's not even proactive policing. This is just doing your fucking job. You fingerprint this vehicle because if you find, you find Waffle Cone's fingerprint on this car that got broken into, and then in downtown LA, 5 miles away, his fingerprint's also on that car that got broken into, then you're starting to build a case. But you never get there unless you're actually trying to solve the crime. Decoy sounds like that Cuban guy Nick Shirley was talking to. What, really? I don't know. Wait. We're still going on this. We'll check that out later on. But, see. Oh, yeah. Another Democrat socialist Los Angeles mayor wants to get the funds away from LAPD. Again, crime isn't an issue, so now we can run on dismantling law enforcement because apparently defunding the police is working for socialists.
That if you are mayor, you want to shift money away from LAPD. You'd like to fire current police chief Jim McDonnell. So if that happens, what does that mean for policing, and how do you go about reducing crime?
The police will be more afraid to do their jobs. There will be more crime in the streets, and there will be more instances so you to fundraise all the tax dollars. They won't admit that, but that's what it is.
Yeah. So here's the thing. When we talk about public safety, when we talk about crime, what we want to happen is to have less crime in our communities. The police...
I hate this condescending tone. It's like literally they're always talking to a kindergarten class. They think we're so stupid we don't see what's happening in front of our faces, but they still have this air of crime is bad, so we're gonna get rid of crime. And you know what? Law enforcement's bad. Like,
often will come after the crime has already occurred. When you call a police officer, the police will come and you might say, I feel uncomfortable. You know, this person is acting erratically. I'm nervous about what might happen. Well, and then the police will say, well, I can't do anything until something occurs, until there is evidence that this person has committed a crime or hurt or violated somebody in a particular way. What we want to do is prevent the crime from occurring in the first place. Crime occurs when people are often in survival mode. They feel trapped.
Did you know that when somebody R's a girl, it's survival mode, guys?
They feel scared. They need to act. And so what we want...
You're thinking of like the Disney Channel version of what crime is. You're not thinking of the criminally insane guy that's high, that's just doing random stuff. You're not thinking about the teen takeovers where these people realize nobody's gonna actually arrest me for like stopping out the windshield of a car or throwing a fire extinguisher through the windshield of a cop car. You are just idealizing what criminals do. They're just down on their luck and they'd be law-abiding citizens if just they got one more chance. It's like, no. Some people are so criminal that they will stab a Ukrainian refugee in the neck while shouting, I got that white girl, and there's no rescuing them. There's no saving them. He's not in survival mode. There's just evil individuals that do evil shit. If you aren't willing to address those people and give them the hardest sentencing available, then you can never keep us safe.
What to do is create stability so that way people don't get towards...
You're going to give people money. You're going to give criminals and poor people money, and you think that's going to make everybody a law-abiding citizen. This is ridiculous. You have never worked in law enforcement in your entire life. You cannot save this. You cannot save something that is not a ethnically homogenous first world nation, and LA is not that.
Their survival mode. That means housing stability. That means
free housing.
Security.
Wait. So okay. She wants to give money, free housing.
That means housing stability. That means food security.
Free food.
That means being able to care for your family and make sure
free health care, free child care for your family.
Sure that your family feels safe. Mental health.
Free medical care.
Job security.
Government mandated work, so that's just like creating government jobs.
A meaningful life. These are all ways, and
spending taxpayer dollars is gonna solve crime. It's never worked before, but again, these are nice little things she's saying with a weird, bizarrely condescending NPR voice. She's saying all these things, trying to promise you the world, even though it can't work. It's never worked, but they keep going to this because idiots gobble this shit up. You know what? That homeless guy taking a dump on the subway, if he just had free medical care and a house and free food, he wouldn't be doing this. It's ridiculous.
Things that people are asking for. Now, I've been a part of the Los Angeles People's Budget Coalition for 6 years now.
And you haven't fixed the budget, so you shouldn't be running. I've never seen so many people absolutely shit at their job, saying, I deserve a promotion. I don't know, like when I worked in corporate America, it was if your numbers were terrible, you risked getting fired, not moved up to the highest position in our organization. But all these socialist types see, hey, you know, our budget hasn't been balanced. We've been running a deficit. Homelessness is worse. But you know, here's why. If I receive more power, I would be more successful.
In fact, I was a part of the team that gave the presentation of the survey results to City Hall for the first time during 2020.
Objection, like, data kids. I didn't solve homelessness, but I gave a presentation about homelessness. And here's the thing is, they would like me to be owned by her because we happen to both look Asian. Oh, we're both Asian, so obviously I gotta be on her side. It's like, no. I would rather have a white guy with a shaved head, or I don't even know how to say it, but it's just like someone that looks nothing like me with good ideas. A Spencer Pratt. Like, me and him both lived in LA at the same time and would never bump shoulders because he was, now I'm not looking down on this or saying anything negative about it, but it's like he was a rich kid going to USC, visiting all the hottest bars in the city. I was a guy that worked two crappy jobs. I worked at a burger joint doing overnight cleaning as a janitor. I worked at a Chinese food restaurant at the closing shift, and I was a full-time student over at one of the local community colleges. Me and him did not bump shoulders. We're in very, very different parts of the city, but he represents me more than any of these socialists ever will.
Shortly after George Floyd is murdered, and what we found there, and what's been the case...
You're repeating the George Floyd lie. He was not, that's not what happened. The autopsy said he OD'd.
Every single year since is that when we put out a poll, tens of thousands of Angelenos fill it out. Again, I say this, nobody actually from LA, living in LA, calls themselves an Angeleno. Makes me think that you're just someone that's like a transplant politician. They say at the top of the priority, what do we want to budget? What do we want to pay for using our city money?
Law enforcement.
They always say housing. They say food. At the very bottom.
And again, if it actually went to people, like housing, cutting red tape so people can build, builders can build, food, actually giving people Nutriloaf just so they don't starve. Like if it was actually money directly in the pockets of Americans' hands, people would be for it. Like when Trump was in office his first time during COVID, he said if Nancy Pelosi wants to pass a clean spending bill that just puts checks in Americans' pockets, nothing extra, no millions of dollars to count the number of amberjack fish in the Gulf of Mexico, no LGBT training in Pakistan, just cash in pockets of Americans, he'd sign it. But she just refused to do it, and they never did. This is the same thing. We want to solve homelessness, but we can't do it by giving it to socialists first.
They say policing, because people don't actually feel safe.
Policing that can actually do it. If it means a guy gets nightsticked after he gets out of robbing a 7-Eleven, so be it. Law enforcement's always going to look bad. People doing crimes don't want to go to jail. So when you see them crying, when you see them get hurt, when you see their mothers being real sad saying they were a good boy, you have to sit there and accept when it looks bad, or else you're never going to be able to have safety.
The police. So if we can keep crime from beginning in the first place, that is when people feel safe.
Yeah, nobody feels safe with this stuff right there. But then, yeah, the irrelevant candidate for mayor saying nonsense, but then I think she's pulling third right now. Not any better.
You know, I think I will say as my husband works in Hollywood, and to promote your campaign with AI videos in a city that is the core of our...
The thing that I hate though is both her and Tom Steyer running for governor say all these things like, oh, all these things are pushing Hollywood, movie production out of Hollywood. It's none of that. It's just taxation going too high and other places offering more resources and less red tape. That's it.
Of our entertainment industry feels deeply insulting to so many workers across this city.
AI is coming no matter what. These are lamplighters protesting the light bulb. These are horse riders protesting the combustion engine. It's not going to stop it. Stop pandering.
He would say he's just sharing out other people's AI videos, and that's not what he's doing.
Yeah. But, you know, I would also say...
He has a good point. She's like, he's sharing AI videos for his campaign. She's trying to slam him for making AI. He's like, well, he's just sharing a social media meme. She has no response to it.
Feels deeply insulting to so many workers across this city.
He would say he's just sharing out other people's AI videos, and that's not what he's doing. Yeah.
But, valid. You know, I would also say that, you know, I think the kind of language that he used, you know, I think,
his words of violence, we're so scared of it, it's sad. But no, people are starting to swarm to Spencer Pratt, and I'm very, very happy with this. Like, what K-Town is all for Spencer Pratt now.
She has done another horrific thing against Korean community in 2024. Also,
what's that?
She removed our artifacts out of a city hall and kicked them out of the city hall after 4 decades. New York Post, LA Times.
And here's the thing, I don't really care about you kicking out artifacts out of there, but they run on wokeness, and they actually despise us everywhere. But also, I'm more offended by the streets going to hell than you just not respecting our heritage.
See, they all did a coverage on this, okay? So, not good.
They hate us. Just know, President Biden campaigned on equality and all that nonsense. Once he gets in office, President Biden reverses the lawsuit Asians had against the Ivy League schools so they could stop using affirmative action to kick or to not be racist towards Asian applicants. Biden gets rid of that lawsuit and then invites Korean pop supergroup BTS into the White House, at which at the time I think they have 7 members. 7-member BTS, one of them speaks English at the time. Everybody else speak English. Biden plays their song, talks to them about stop Asian hate, and then leaves. He thinks to get Asian support, all he has to do is talk to a non-English speaking Korean group that knows nothing about the Korean American experience, but all he has to do is pander to us.
Person with the hatred, racism as our mayor. Oh no, there's no place in our community for hatred and racism.
Because they don't think they need us. It's sad to say. If they can cater to people that hate Koreans and get them more votes than the people that are Korean to get votes, they're going to go against the people that hate us.
No, Spencer.
Yeah, Spencer's the only option. And I love his campaign where I thought he was graffitiing the streets. He's not graffitiing the streets, his ad. He's cleaning the streets for his ad. So he just goes out there and he puts, imagine if the streets were clean, Spencer Pratt for mayor. Yeah, how dirty the street is. He's just power washing the ground. And the only way to get rid of his graffiti is to clean the rest of the ground. This is genius. Super genius. I wouldn't be surprised if one of them, if Nithya Raman tries to do the same, because Karen Bass can't do it. She's the incumbent. But again, someone saying, I can understand why 100 restaurants closed in LA last year. This is in the Valley. This is a Sherman Way. And you have the CVS pharmacy amongst non-stop just pop-up restaurants. And these are pop-up stores of probably just stolen merchandise everywhere. And the sad thing is they don't drive all the way down there. But I know past, like, there's a Wiener Schnitzel and there's a DMV. Down there's a Mexican restaurant. I forget what it's called. But there's a Mexican restaurant at the end of this block. And in front of it is 2 giant food trucks that are there every day. So it's like, not only do they not pay the taxes, do they not pay for the rent of the building and just all the upkeep of the city, they take all of their parking spots. People park in front of the Mexican restaurant to go eat at the food truck of also Mexicans, and they use their business property to help the other property. And it's sad to say, once this law was passed where you're allowed to street vend, all the houses, I used to get off on the other freeway exit down the street, the houses became restaurants too. Like a corn dog spot. There was also like another Mexican restaurant, and it's like, this is not America. This is not the first world anymore. It's like Los Angeles went to hell, but they think the only thing that's going to solve this is, you know what? Maybe if you give the socialists a little bit more of the tax money, then we can solve things. Bought with EBT and sold on the sidewalk? Exactly. The worst thing I saw is behind that area was a food for less. And the food for less at any hour of the day, night, midnight, whatever. Go park there and try to walk to the food for less. You have a not even a bum, just regular people trying to sell you their EBT card. Or even like me being 20 years old, they'll say, hey, I will buy you beer, and if you give me money, I will give you like pennies on the dollar or whatever. It's like, what? Why is that? And if they can't find anybody to buy their EBT card, they will literally buy vats of bottled water, dump out the bottled water, go behind the food for less, and then trade that in for cash. And it's like, this is not the way the system's supposed to be built. But as long as the socialists keep on thinking, we can spend our way from out of this. The guy that's robbing you on the bus with a knife, all he needs is more EBT money, and he's gonna stop robbing you. Sad to say, that's what we are. For real though, the taco joint on Sherman Way and Lindley behind the WSS is kind of gas. There was a taco truck that was phenomenal. I just remember they had the best nachos ever. Good. My mouth is watering thinking about this taco truck. I would shoot over there after work all the time to get it. One day it disappeared, and I'm like, wait, what was it called? Because he just moved to a different corner, and I'm like, wait, I don't have a picture of him. I don't have a sales receipt. This taco truck just left. And it was like the most devastating breakup I've ever had. It happened like just essentially like getting ghosted by a girl. A taco truck on Sherman Way. Phenomenal. Best nachos ever. And they just disappeared. And I'm like, man, screw this place. ICE got them? No, there's no ICE law enforcement in Sherman Way. Yeah. The macho taco truck with secret sauce, I don't know what that is. All I know is the Kogi truck was awesome. Back in the day, it was Korean, Mexican taco truck fusion. So it'd be like bulgogi on a little burger or bulgogi on a little taco. The Kogi truck that exists right now, it is not the same thing. There's like 5 of them. And they travel all over the place. But the original Kogi truck that you get after hitting the bars in K-Town. Delicious. Best food ever. But you're just homesick for a place that no longer exists. It's gone now. Bulgogi taco, dude, you have no idea. You have no idea how delicious that thing was. We can't get back to it. Yeah, there's obviously places ICE doesn't enforce because it's not like a big area. But I mean, should that be enforced there, it would change everything. So, just real quick, we got to talk about what's happening over in England. Because same thing with COVID. We saw it was hitting other countries in Europe first. They even got the vaccines before us. Then it hit us. So it's like, the immigration crisis that is happening in Europe, I would say, is always 6 months to a year ahead of what we see here.
Now, it's perfectly lawful for that photographer to take pictures of those guys. I suppose we can understand that they have no comprehension of the law, so they're telling...
Yeah, because they just came over on the channel in northern France. Yeah, they don't know the law, so maybe we don't want them in the country.
Not to take pictures. Now, what is disturbing about this, though, first of all, it is these migrants, you know, kind of tremendous sense of entitlement.
Yes.
You know, get out of our way. We're about to get on a boat. We're going to Britain. You can't take our picture. Well, they can take their pictures. That's not against...
And the simple fact that they don't like something, so they go to physical intimidation. If you can't use your words, I don't want you in my country. Because what happens when something else happens that you're angry about, or you want to fight somebody?
The law. The photographer is calling for the French police to do their jobs, to protect him in his legal pursuit of his profession, taking their pictures. And the cops aren't doing anything. And if you watch this footage carefully, one of the cops towards the end tells the photographer he shouldn't be taking these pictures.
Exactly, because it's easier to enforce, not even law, it's easier to have peace by talking to the law-abiding taxpayer. Hey, don't do this, don't rile him up, than it is to handcuff and arrest this guy. He may be in the midst of a crime, but you know how hard it is going to be to arrest him, and how much your local, I don't even know if they have police chiefs over in France, but if something hits the fan, this guy's arm gets broken, or, you know, he loses his life during the detainment attempt, the copper is going to prison forever. Being public enemy number 1, he's probably gonna need to flee the country after his prison sentence. So rather than protecting the tax-paying, law-abiding citizens, you're just going to suppress the law-abiding citizens to cater to the criminals because it's easier.
Treating these migrants like animals. No, he's not. He's doing his job. He's taking pictures perfectly.
Even if he wasn't doing his job, if you're acting within the law, you should not be afraid of being assaulted by a criminal.
Legally. But it proves that the French police taking our money, our £662 million, in fact, Jesus, more than $1 billion over the past 3 or 4 years.
If you guys are going to have all this stuff, you're going to be kitted out and you're going to be useless, strip them. Make them like the UK Bobbies. Give them a whistle, give them a funny hat, and a crossing guard vest. If that's how useless you're going to be, might as well be that way. Why do you need all this gear if you're not going to use it? It's sad.
Don't really protect the law on these beaches, and certainly seem to show favoritism towards the migrants.
Why is the shield facing the citizen and not the person yelling and shouting at him?
who want to set sail in illegal boats to come to the promised land. It's quite something, isn't it?
And here's the thing: what is it? Asylum seekers, they should only be able to seek asylum in the closest country. You can't pass an ocean and 5 other countries to make it to the place that has the best welfare. If you genuinely need asylum from political persecution, religious persecution, I can somewhat understand that, but you don't get your pick of the litter. Go to the first safe area. France should be a safe area.
Well, Kev, thank you. This extraordinary footage raises so many questions and reinforces so much of what you and I have talked about on this show so often. Here we have the French police armed up to the teeth with their pepper spray and their silly little riot shields.
She's calling them out. She's calling them out. Why are you armed if you can't stop this guy? Why isn't he in jail? I don't care. Like, don't send him on his way. Put him in jail. Or deport him.
And they're doing absolutely nothing as a group of migrants gather on the beach ahead of trying to get to the UK.
Because here's the big point is, if they're willing to do this in front of the coppers on a photographer who I would imagine is a male, it looks like they're doing a job. What about a blonde woman like this? What about school kids unaccompanied? Do they think that they're not, if they're willing to fight the cops and a photographer, they're not willing to fight a poor, harmless, defenseless girl? It puts everybody at risk. You know this guy has a propensity for violence, and yet they do nothing about it.
And worse, we have a very aggressive migrant there, illegal immigrant, who starts angrily confronting a photographer who is fully entitled under French law to be working on that public beach. He was standing a very respectful distance away from the migrants, which frankly is...
How dare you notice me committing crimes? And here, again, always with the designer merchandise. Some people say Gucci and Louis Vuitton are designer. I consider Adidas. Any branded merchandise that is more expensive than the alternative that you would get from Temu or Walmart or whatever. Designer merchandise. I don't want to sit here and look down on anybody. I got like designer shorts that I'm wearing right now. But just... if you got money for branded stuff, maybe you don't need to be seeking asylum from where you currently are.
More than they deserved. And the French police's instinct is to go after the photographer. And we see the migrant trying to clutch a rock to throw it at the photographer. This is disgraceful.
Yeah.
It really is disgraceful. And the French police appear to have turned most of their resources now on trying to target those who are capturing their own inadequacy. And what we are doing as what the government is doing, continuing to fund this complete charade with the French police, beggars belief. We should be demanding the money back.
Yeah, it's so bad. I'm trying to find this video of UK police in a nutshell. It's like a soccer video. I don't know. But it's showing how dare you defend yourself against these people. If this happened in the USA, that person would be shot? No, I don't think they would. I think if you did that to them, because they're still like a protected class, and there's so many people out there that they don't care what crime someone's committed. They just care that they're asking for more. They're disadvantaged from us, so they should get more. Not from them, but from the taxpayer. As long as there's someone else's problem, it's not theirs. Exactly. The same thing with like homeless encampments that get cleared out in like parts of the city. All these people protest the homeless encampment getting cleared out, but none of them want to house the homeless. All these people saying, oh, ICE facilities, they're bad. These detention centers, they're bad. We need to make sure that, ICE can't operate and enforce our border laws, but they provide them nothing in terms of housing, services, jobs. They just say, the taxpayer, somebody will take care of it. Not me, you. Revoke all visas and let visa holders reapply. I mean, I like the idea that I saw somewhere, that green card holders, if you want to get citizenship, you have to leave the country first if you want to apply for a green card. And I also saw something about how they said, if you I can't find this video. If you have if you get robbed and you're a witness to a crime, you can apply for a green card because you're helping law enforcement. So what they do is they stage robberies. They get a whole bunch of immigrants, they put them in like a 7-Eleven, they get an immigrant worker working on an H-1B visa, and you have a guy go in there with a mask on, hold them up at gunpoint, rob them, and leave, and then everybody there gets to say, hey, I'm going to help law enforcement out in investigation of this crime that we're never going to figure out. There's no camera, there's no evidence, but now they have the document, the paperwork that some immigration attorney can now say, hey, they're assisting us in capturing a wanted vigilante, so they can go after him now. I'm sorry, because they can go after the person that robbed them. They now get citizenship. See, this thing is... Oh, there it is. No, anyone born on the land to American citizens native to that land, genius. That's a larger argument than you were saying beforehand, and American citizens aren't the same as U.S. ones. I mean, I'm not a fan of birthright citizenship. I think Donald Trump even talked about it too, saying birthright citizenship was for the children of slaves. It wasn't for the children of Chinese billionaires. Because, what was I need to find, this... Oh, wait. This insane thing right here where it says Oversight Committee finds there's a company called Have My Baby in Miami where there's just birth tourism. I know there's a lot of Asian places that have birth tourism and it's an atrocity, but this is insane that they advertise it.
Have My Baby in Miami. That's the name of an actual company that is facilitating birth tourism into the United States, where foreigners come in on visas, have children, then leave so that their children can remain American citizens.
Yeah, none of this dual citizenship stuff. I know a lot of places, I believe Korea would make me renounce my American citizenship if I wanted to renew or just claim my Korean citizenship.
That's a problem. The American people are sick of it, and my task force on the House Oversight Committee is going after these companies. Have My Baby in Miami. Go after these companies.
Go after, I know, what is that? I think, is it Arcadia? San Gabriel Valley, where they just found out that the mayor is like a Chinese agent. There's so much birth tourism over there that this is no surprise that their mayor was a literal Chinese agent. And the sad to say is I know somebody, I'm not gonna out any of them, but they work at a hospital, and their hospital is in a city that has is predominantly Hispanic population. But their hospital, once Donald Trump sealed up the border, they had a maternity ward. And so many people were here, birth tourism, illegals having birth to babies, getting US tax dollars to fund that hospital stay. Once the border got sealed, they had to turn off, they had to dismantle. They couldn't afford to have a paternity ward anymore because so many illegal mothers were no longer in America. And it's like, if that's just one hospital in one small part of Southern California, imagine how big the issue is countrywide. Yeah, importing 20 million people during a time we only built 2 million homes made the price of housing jump like 50%. It's about jobs and housing and votes, not skin pigment. Exactly, because we want everybody to have food. We want everybody to have a house and a white picket fence and 2.5 kids and a dog and a cat. I would love that to happen, but we don't live in a Disney Pixar movie. We don't live in a paradise. We have very, very limited resources and essentially unlimited amounts of people. We cannot solve Somalia's poverty crisis. We cannot solve India, China, Korea's poverty issues by allowing anybody to come into America, because all that does is, it doesn't pull them out of poverty, it just throws us into poverty as well. Yeah, you want everyone to have a great life in their country, and sad to say, if you take out, in a struggling war-torn country with a corrupt government, you cannot get that country to be prosperous if you remove all of the military-age males and plug them into America on food stamps. You need strong, brave, capable men to save your country. If all it is warlords, corrupt politicians, and defenseless women and children, that country is going to be perpetually in poverty forever. And if the native population can't save it, do you want imperialism? I thought the left was against imperialism. Do you need Japan, China, America, UK coming into your country and solving your food scarcity? You need to give them running water? Like, you can't have it both ways. Either they figure it out themselves, you allow imperialism to bring them out of poverty, but bringing the top capable males out of the country and plugging them in over here doesn't help. It isn't America's responsibility. Exactly. I forgot. Was it not Ted Cruz? Was it Marco Rubio that said we can no longer be the planet's piggy bank? And it's like, I never thought of it that way, but it definitely, that's what they treat us like, the world's piggy bank to solve all the problems. This is hilarious. You had Seattle, where they're so lawless, the local, it's such a lawless state of anarchy that the local neighborhoods are building like barriers and blockades, so it's almost like the Walking Dead over there.
We just saw a Honda Element drive around here, so we got to put a stump over there, I think.
Can't just illegally block the road because...
Another conflict divides North Seattle's Greenwood neighborhood.
It's either this...
Oh, so you have an affluent, rich area that's probably been in Seattle and voted for lawlessness, saying, you know what? We can afford to give ourselves a little moat from all the lawlessness. We're going to go ahead and keep you guys out. Good luck.
Or bullets in my neighbors' houses.
Not gunfire, but how far residents are going to stop it.
Our neighbors put these up in self-defense.
What is it? Love always provide? I don't know. Protects? Again, putting out that hippie nonsense, putting walls around them. Again, this is probably the groups of people against borders. No laws on stolen land. Ice out of our city, but also we're gonna put barricades to keep all the rabble rousers out of our rich area.
Of emergency services not being able to get through here is greater than the good that they think that they're doing from putting up.
Probably true.
Makeshift barricades now.
But nobody does this without insane amounts of criminality coming in the area. They don't choose to do this. Nobody does this as a hobby. They do it because there's so much rampant crime. They found this was their only solution. But again, this is what happens when you have more virtue than you have information, or empty virtues than information.
Now block 3 streets off Aurora Avenue, and they're building frustration.
And I just don't think that this is the right fix.
It comes after residents like Kate and Peter say they've documented at least
that's
8
a problem
shootings
right there.
in about the past month.
And there's not a shooting.
Oh my God, there's so much.
Place structures in public streets. Unauthorized obstructions can lead to fines or removal orders.
They don't care though. They'd rather have a couple fines than a round going through their living room window.
Peter say they were built over the weekend and say they don't know whether a permit was approved.
You can't just move these makeshift barricades out of the way. And you can see here they're made of dirt, gravel, chunks of concrete, and even logs.
But doing it yourself?
Third world nation shit. This is the stuff you'd see in Nigeria, not Seattle, which is one of the marquee cities of America.
I don't think is right.
Some say it goes too far.
It's not a good way to protest.
This is not a protest. This is keeping gunfire out of your neighborhood.
Solve anything?
It's not a fix for sure. It's a Band-Aid. This is Tylenol for stage 4 cancer.
Conflicts between neighbors.
So maybe you vote for a pro-law enforcement mayor. Maybe you reopen all the jails around your city. Maybe you say, hey, all the judges just giving the justice system a revolving door. If you commit a crime, this is quality of life crime, you're open container drinking, or you're a homeless guy doing fentanyl, just go ahead and let them back out there on the streets. Maybe you start throwing those guys in prison forever. This is, yes, I agree, Tylenol for stage 4 cancer, but you only get rid of the stage 4 cancer by cutting it out forever. You don't just try to say, hey, how can we learn how to coexist? Can we fund the cancer? How about we give the cancer more after-school programs, and maybe that'll save our city from getting literally destroyed and us building Walking Dead, third world-esque walls around our community.
Neighbors ended in understanding and, in one case, a handshake.
I'd shake your hand and give you a hug if you're into it. But,
I'll shake your hand.
Hippie nonsense. You guys can't protect your own society. You can't. Oh my God.
Yeah.
What's your name?
Peter.
Peter?
As neighbors push the city to stop the violence, their homegrown roadblocks could find themselves at the top of the city's to-do list.
And the problem is, they want the city to do something about it. But once a George Floyd, a Breonna Taylor, an incident that's anywhere near that, or even, Renee Good, if an incident like that happens where someone's breaking the law, and unfortunately, something terrible happens to them, you don't want these people to pass away, but, you're breaking the law. These things happen, unfortunately. You can't all of a sudden destroy your own city. Seattle destroyed its own city, for things that were happening in Portland, for things that were happening over in Minneapolis. If something happens there, you can't go back and say, you know what, I'll go back to building my little Walking Dead barrier instead of actually saying it's okay to enforce a law.
And be removed.
We're at the point of we have to choose between the lesser of evils.
The lesser of evils enforcing the law, but again, I'm not gonna sit here and try to, like, you know, make fun of a skinny guy. I'm not the big buff dude either, but it's just like, I don't think you have the ability to save yourself from a guy that's literally shooting up your neighborhood. I'm not going to take advice from you on how we should enforce a law in our country. Because, what is this? Yeah. Cho says inside Seattle Park taken over by Honduran drug dealers. Your little barrier isn't going to stop the drug dealers from coming in.
This is the problem. Lewis Park, the disaster. The park's been swept so many times, but we'll see if the tents have returned.
Shout out to John Cho, he's great.
One of the most beautiful views of the city, too.
Yeah, in this little nook.
Yeah, Seattle's an amazing city. A little bit hilly and kind of spread apart, but amazing city I will never go back to because there's rampant drug use.
You see the Seattle Park sign?
Yep.
That nook in there is insane.
How many people would you say are in there?
I mean, this is just the daytime. At night, I'd say more than 100. Wow. Right now, we're probably going to see maybe 20, 30. At any point you're not comfortable, any point you're just...
And do people know you up here?
Maybe. Look at everyone doing fetty.
Sad. This is suffering, and again, like what I said, drug dealers need to get murder charges because that guy conked out on meth or whatever he's on. He's never going to live a regular life. His life is effectively over. I feel like that drug dealer has murdered him, throw him in prison forever.
Notice how they're just staring at us. So.
Do you go here? Like, does this lead anywhere?
Yeah, there's a path in the back.
What is going on here?
Are we going to be okay?
Seattle is literally living in the Walking Dead times. Survivalists. These aren't like, you know, outdoor enthusiasts going on a nice hike. This is third world nonsense.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that they feel comfortable walking up to this. Like, I have some videos on the main channel where, like, Cho's getting chased with knives and bats. It's kind of dicey over there. Yeah, when you play DayZ, you would avoid that. That's exactly what this looks like. And also, that posture tells you everything. Like, I remember working security in LA. There was, like, this one cop meeting where they all brought us out and they, like, talked to us about, like, hey, this is how you tell somebody's on, like, drugs or whatever. And one thing that always stuck with me is when they're on, what is it, opiates? It, like, your musculature kind of keeps you upright, but when you're on all that stuff, everything kind of weakens and you just kind of have this weird posture. And it's like whenever you see them, their life is just kind of like this. It's just because they're like fourth year addict. They're beyond recovery. It's sad because you start seeing it everywhere around you. Unless you know what you're looking for, you wouldn't even notice. But that bad posture isn't just, oh, they're got bad posture, got scoliosis. It's like, no, they've just been on fentanyl for too long.
Fellas.
He's a gentleman.
No, I don't need fatty. It's all good.
Yeah, this is all like it's that hunchback posture.
Yeah.
Watch your step here.
Inside this is like a hiking path. This should be a beautiful area. You could take your family and your dog around. But like Spencer Pratt points out over in Los Angeles, you can't bring your dog on this path because they might sniff something that has just a little bit of fent on it and they die. That stuff happens. Yeah, that's the posture right there. That's the posture right there. This is suffering. I want anybody that's done that to these people. And I'm not saying they're like, you know, lost children and they're victims or whatever, but it's like, even if they inadvertently did it to themselves or some inadvertently did it to them, you still treat these drug dealers like murderers.
Yeah, what's up? Good to see you, man. Oh, Brady, we're gonna go up here.
Yeah, fold it up like that.
What up, fellas? You good? You good, girl? Good to see you again.
He's just like a local celebrity, these people.
Wow, location. But this should be a park where people can enjoy it.
Yes.
There's homes
because your tax dollars pay for it.
That's the biggest concentration of active drug use I've seen in 15 years in Seattle. In terms of active actually using in the moment.
Not only drug use, you had dealers offer me.
Twice.
Yeah, there's videos of giving dogs Narcan. Said this a couple times where the homeless halfway house shelter they built, like a multi-million-dollar apartment complex that they built right next to me in LA that I moved away from, within a month there was a couple deaths in there of kids because you gave some junky lady that had kids, oh, she needs a house, she needs a house to get on her feet, just like that socialist Ray or whatever girl running for mayor goes there, brings over a new boyfriend, they do drugs, leave Fent out, and the 2 babies get exposed to it, they both die. This is a real thing, but they don't want to address it.
Heard it.
Yeah.
You need some? You need some? You need any? And those are the Hondurans.
Yeah.
This place is out of sight, out of mind. It's perfect. Okay, there's even more, so.
Yeah.
Oh, and this is just like anywhere, like, what is it? I thought I was imagining things. My first apartment in LA, there's the gate in front, there's a gate in the back, and it's just like, you know, it's just a kind of a busy street. But, you would always see a couple affiliated gentlemen, a couple guys in the front gate, a couple guys in the back gate, and I'm like, and then you have like they're perched up on the second level too, and I'm like, this kind of looks. What I was thinking in my head, I'm like, this kind of looks like the perfect way for these guys to deal drugs, having somebody behind the apartment gate that's locked in the front and the back, so nobody can sneak up on them. And I'm like, it's too obvious for it to be that way, so maybe they're just like stoop kids hanging out. But then within a week, I saw a major police raid on that apartment complex because that's exactly what they're doing. This is just a extended version of it where they really can't get snuck up on by Seattle PD because they're in the wilderness. If there's ever anybody that's trying to raid this thing and they have somebody at that front part of this entrance of this like hiking trail, they can definitely dump the Fent down the river or something. Kind of sad.
There's my Lime bike.
Yeah. Because your Lime bike.
Is that somebody going?
Okay,
oh my
safe.
God, somebody was, yeah.
Don't look back. He just saw me. There's an out here on the right.
The perils of being out with Jonathan Cho.
Yeah, welcome to
Didn't
my
expect
office.
to have to run today.
Yeah, that was a little wild.
And you usually do that alone?
I do. I mean, who's going to come with me? This is a massive risk, right?
Yeah.
It's a safety risk, and that was one of the craziest scenes during the day. I haven't seen that during the
People compliment my voice, but you really got to listen to Jonathan Cho. He's got like that old school, like radio announcer voice. It's like immaculate.
The day.
Same. I have to say, 15 years covering homelessness here, in terms of just out in the open, no necessity to hide it, concentration of people selling and using, that can exist in a first world country is insane. It's a huge risk to do that, right?
And anybody can win a re-election campaign in one of these cities, or the Democrats can continue to win despite what's happening in front of their faces, because this is not only necessarily a homeless and drug and crime issue, this is also an immigration issue where they said, what is it, Honduran gangs or whatever. And it's like, sad to say, when I worked in just security, we had a major issue with, I forgot what country it is. It's not like Mexico or like El Salvador, it's another country. They're typically, very, very well affiliated with organized retail crime groups. I'm sure someone in chat will know what it is. But we had one specific country coming in here to do a specific type of retail theft. And it's like, how does this become such an issue where they know to come to America and just walk through Los Angeles's retail businesses because there's effectively no law enforcement to stop them from doing this? Not Ecuadorian. It's, I always know it because I was actually... Not Venezuelans. I was actually at a mall the other day. And I was at a Zara and I saw them because they're distinct. They're Hispanic, or not Hispanic. They're Latino, but they're from South America, not El Salvador. They're from South America. Not Honduras. I always forget this place, but it's like they have a specific look. They're not like, you know, your typical Chilean. There's Chile. No, it's Chilean. Just a very, very specific thing that they are. Like, obviously, you can tell them apart. But it's like, yeah, there's a lot of Chilean organized retail crime groups. They're not affiliated with each other. It's just crime tourism that became so prevalent in that country coming over here. Not against Chilean people, but it's insane that we got to that point where it's like, how do we run into like a group from this country multiple times a week?
But if you weren't doing it, nobody'd see it.
Who's going to show the raw realities on the streets?
Nobody. Yeah. Shout out to Jonathan Cho and Brandy Cruz. They do great journalism out there. Like I'm always really big on, what is it? We just talked about Scooter Caster from Freedom News TV. But it's like, if it wasn't for on the street journalists, Jonathan Cho, Brandy Cruz, Nick Shirley, we wouldn't know about all these crimes because our mainstream media is so captured by the left, so it's like, they can't show us what's actually happening out there because it might harm the official narrative. And sad to say, it impedes in our ability to see reality, unfortunately. Decoy should do a reading of the Three Little Pigs with his theatrical trailer voice. That'd be funny. How are you gonna forget the name while you're sitting in front of a computer? What? Let's see what we got. So what I'll do is we'll get pop this out. Not enough screens. I have one large screen, super wide. I remember somebody was criticizing me. They're saying, "Oh, stop reading your subscriber numbers, or not subscriber numbers, or your viewership numbers. Like, stop looking at that or whatever." And it's like, I wasn't doing that. I was reading chat, because I'll move chat over here, move chat over there. Like, I don't want to have all this stuff in the middle. I have to move stuff around all the time. So wait, let's see. I can. How do I? What is the? What? That's crazy. Can't detect any of these videos. Huh. That's weird. Super ultra wide. This screen's amazing. Like, I was playing, what was it, a Minecraft on it one time, and I was like, I'm in it. Aside from having like one of those VR things on my face, this was as close to VR I was ever gonna get. I say, Admiral Muret says 1350, 1% of the 13 repeating crimes. I don't know. Actually, no, the 1350 thing, I remember there was an Asian guy that was on TikTok that was trying to dispel the rumors of like, oh, why is just the small population of like 13% of the population committing 50% of the crime? And when he drilled it down, it was like, well, 13% is also including women and children. So it actually was something like 6% or 5% of the population was committing something like, it was an insane number, like 50, it was like 6 to 60%. It was crazy how bad it got. The Bearded Ham says, how many single teen mothers did these teen takeovers create, thereby perpetuating the system? I think, sad to say, the welfare state and encouraging single motherhood is the worst thing to happen to society. Prisma Knight says, I really hate the state of our society. Too many violent wizards, and let's be real, it's the hood's fault? I don't know. Prisma Knight says, I still wish you were in law enforcement. No, you don't, because if you were in a deep blue city with a deep blue mayor, if you enforced the law and someone happened to get harmed that was of a higher point of the oppression Olympics, you'd be thrown in prison forever. Amazing Disgrace says, these ICE protests are getting more and more pathetic. I believe public sympathy is slowly turning on them. I think the money going into them has dried up, so that's causing these ICE protests to become dwindling numbers. Radding says, when you look at history, the North won because they had more industry than the South. That's almost completely flipped now. Yeah. Bite Deity says, imagine society collapse and you send a group to go hunt wild pigs and they come back and say, no, there are pets. What do? I eat. Evil Black Cat says, a friend told me there's only so many homeless because nobody's figured out how to make money off them. I told her, there's so many homeless because someone has figured how to make money. Exactly. They're naive. They're not bad people. They're just naive. Yeah, USAID has dried up, so Act Blue is starving. Exactly. Not M4U says, salute from Bay Area. Appreciate it. Dist Optimist says, we keep giving money to community leaders because they know where it's needed. They apparently stink resource management. Who knew? Well, it's like insanity. The definition of insanity is trying the same thing more than once and thinking you get a different reaction or result. And that's what voting for Democrats have become. Bite Deity says, bum gets a free house from the government, sells it to buy more Fent. I wouldn't be surprised, and that's how it is. It's like, giving people housing doesn't overnight make them want to get a job and have dreams and hopes. Some people just need punishment. Law enforcement got union lawyers. They can do the right thing if enough of them stand up. They can strike. Didn't help for those guys in Minneapolis, did it? Like the one, what was it, the Asian guy that was, he wasn't the ranking officer. He was like I think he was like a rookie. Yeah, an Asian guy rookie directing traffic while Chauvin is arresting Floyd. Even the Asian guy got thrown in jail. Oh, thanks for the background music. Yeah, the background music is surprisingly AI. So what I'll do right now is I think on my Twitch. Yeah, we'll raid Asmongold on Twitch and then on yeah, we're gonna raid Zach over on Twitch, and then also I have a video coming out from the last live stream on this video. I'm gonna go ahead and link it, and we'll publish it right now. So if you guys want to check out that next video, thanks for hanging out as long as you have, and I'll just go ahead and spam this this link in the description.